The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.
Come on. That's right. Let's go. Come on.
The East is where we're from.
Shalom, my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm Elder Rawchaa. A little late. I'm here.
In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still.
Shalom to my brothers throughout the four corners, my sisters.
To a land
throughout
where
the
no
four
man
corners of the
conquered,
earth.
we went.
Who are we?
The 12 tribes of Israel.
That's who we be.
We be Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii.
Here we go.
The Lord is calling back Israel.
Zebulon from Panama, Gad,
Listen to this
American
now.
Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans.
The highest gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us.
At gunpoint.
Together our wives and children then sold us.
Thank you.
In the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A high gather us
In Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans,
Come on, Israel.
from the gathering
Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians.
the highest gathering in Israel.
Bless you. Thank you for your patience. I know I'm a little late, but we have a little bit to talk about this evening. A matter of fact, a lot to talk about. Come on.
Asher in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans.
That's who we be.
Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii,
The Lord is calling back Israel.
Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans.
The highest gathering Israel.
That's right, brothers and sisters. The Most High's gather in Israel. I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church, live, a little late, but live. I didn't want to disappoint our brothers and sisters this evening. We had an emergency we had to deal with. Elder Lawya had some things he had to get done. And soon he will be joining us here live through YouTube. Yeah, I said, you know what? Maybe we should cancel this particular broadcast tonight, right? And pick it up tomorrow. That's what I thought initially, but I'm like, you know what? And I don't know if any of you seen the fact that recognized that the title of this particular broadcast was changed. Okay? But that initial title, When Satan Attacks, before we switched it to Why Didn't They Tell Us the Truth, is why we had to broadcast tonight. Okay? Is why we had to broadcast tonight. Satan was going to try to stop us from being able to bring forth the truth and do what? Encourage brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth who there's brothers and sisters out there who look forward to these particular broadcasts to get through another day, another week. Okay? So I couldn't just, say, you know what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So many things are going on today. I'll just cancel it. Have AC, our tech, our producer, a lot of things he does in the background. Just have him put it up there for tomorrow, and we'll be back tomorrow. I could have easily done that, but I'm like, no. What we need to talk about is so important this evening that I'm going to do what? A late show. I'm going to do a late broadcast. I don't care. All right. And of course, I'm going to try to top it off and be done in 2 hours. But, the original title that I sent to AC was When Satan Attacks. And the reason why I told him to do that particular title, brothers and sisters, initially is because I don't think brothers and sisters recognizes what a satanic attack. They don't know what it looks like, and they don't know what it feels like. They just think circumstances are unfolding without understanding real time that actually demonic forces are actually focusing on them and their families. Right? But that was really the title that I text AC for the Sabbath service. I didn't want him to put that title up tonight because that was my Sabbath lesson. A lot of brothers and sisters don't know when they're actually being, when spirits know their name and are focused on their families. You didn't know that exists, did you? Well, this is what I'm going to talk about, brothers and sisters, this coming Saturday. When Satan attack. How do you know when they are attacking and what to do about it? When I say they, that's right. Remember the spirits we're talking that was in that homeless derelict, that derelict that Christ ran into? He says, even though I say Satan, he says, call me Legion, for we are many. How do you know when there's a concentrated spiritual attack on you and your family? No one out there right now, Jew or Gentile alike, need, for any reason, should miss the Sabbath lesson when I break this down, when Satan attacks this coming Saturday. So I told AC, okay, I'm going to jump in, just bear with me. I was dealing with a lot today. I told AC, no, I sent you that particular title for Saturday. We need to go into the lesson that I wanted to talk about this evening. Why didn't they tell us the truth? And folks, I can understand, based on what we're about to dive into this evening, while Satan was trying to do everything to have me postpone this broadcast. And so I got it all ready, and I said, you know what? I don't have to save it for tomorrow. I told AC, send me the password. We're going to do it tonight. Why didn't they tell us the truth? Is our topic tonight. And I hope all of you brothers and sisters chime in. We're going to open up Blog Talk tonight, where you can call in the midst of the broadcast while I'm bringing some of these things out. Okay. On top of that, I'm going to ask Elder Rawchaa, if you're out there, rock. I need Elder Rawchaa to set up Blog Talk for me so I'm not multitasking. I just want to focus on this broadcast tonight. All right. Why didn't they tell us the truth? Elder Rawchaa from Texas, I need you to set up the Blog Talk for me. Make it the maximum hours so that we're not cut off early for the callers. All right. So that when I'm ready to pull the people in, we can have a discussion. Okay. Elder Lawya, if you're out there, I know you're on your way home. As soon as you get home, Elder Lawya, text him, rock. As soon as Elder Lawya gets home, for him to call in to Blog Talk. Folks, I'm going to tell you why the enemy is so mad. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you Elder Serpent and GOCC went over into Africa and baptized brothers and sisters at the Ghanaian castle where they were holding our brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, at the shore. Before, this is the holding prison before transportation, before they transported our forefathers to America. In Ghana, at the same waters where Esau sent the ships to bring us over like cargo. In the same waters, we baptized the Gathering of Christ Church, many in those same blood waters. They're not blood now. It was clear. After some time, the shore washed away, but inside the castle, oh my God. We're going to have some interviews on that and some live footage, brothers and sisters. Because guess what? The stench of the blood is still within the walls of that castle. And at that same shore where our people were taken away, we baptized many in the name of Rawchaa, in the name of his dear son Christ, through the Holy Spirit Rawchaa. Right there in those waters. I can understand why the enemy is trying to come against what's going on. Christ said this gospel must be taught throughout the four corners of the earth, then the end shall come. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Listen to this. A phone call happens over in Ghana. A brother is found who can speak fluent English and became a translator. So when GOCC, Serpent, when they are amongst these brothers, and while the teacher is teaching, brothers and sisters, this brother is translating in their language through the Holy Spirit. And guess what? Crowds began to form. A man who owned a radio station which broadcast throughout all of Africa, asked the Gathering of Christ Church to come on and teach what they were hearing. The same gospel that have stimulated those throughout the four corners of the earth who have heard this truth from this church is now being broadcast throughout all of Africa. Now, a lot of these broadcasts, we're going to actually put on these channels what we can. So I understand why the enemy is mad, why the enemy is looking to attack. So when the enemy hit, we have to hit back twice as hard. Because why? They fear the Spirit of the Almighty. They fear his name. So we can't allow the enemy to win battles. Even if we broadcast late, it doesn't matter the time, as long as the truth comes forth. Okay? Christ told us, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So, obviously, we thought that it was only for one broadcast. Oh, you know it's never like that. It started like that at Peace FM. It wasn't just for one broadcast. Once the gospel and the truth that you're hearing here was broadcast, the producer and owner of the show, of the whole radio station, said, listen, we need y'all. We need you to come on. We need you to continue. Africa's been waiting. Because a lot of those people over in Africa, folks, not like us, a lot of them already know they're Israel. So they're not waiting for that revelation. That's not the revelation they were waiting for. Now, on top of that, we went from Ghana, and guess where we are now after broadcasting? You got it. In Nigeria. And I made sure that I told the brethren, all of this must be documented. The brothers and sisters must see the power of the Almighty. They must see our brothers and sisters being baptized in the same waters in which the ships took us away. Folks, when they took us away as slaves, we were left for dead. We were left for dead, and our ancestors back then wrote us off and thought they would never see us again. Folks, oh yeah, I'm going to tell you all how you can help. I'm getting chills right now. Brothers and sisters, check this out. The narrative of captivity, the false information we're learning here in America, is the exact reverse of what really happened. There was nobody, Kunta Kinte didn't go out to get a drum, and some white guys on shore dragged him and brought him here to America and made them eat swan sandwiches. Okay? Folks, do you know what slaves, brothers and sisters? Do you know which slaves, how they were able to choose amongst our people? Do you know the candidates that they would utilize to sever off from amongst the Africans to be candidates to go afar off? That was in agreement with the Ghanaian government as well as Rome. You know what people they chose to ship away, brothers and sisters? Listen to this clearly. They chose to ship away the Africans or the Israelites, Judah, who was causing a political uprising against, that's right, the Roman politics that were being imposed on Africa. This is how they got the candidates to choose who to ship away to break them in slavery. those who was opposing Rome. And guess what, folks? Hey, there's more. There's more. And I'm going to be breaking this out for the next couple of weeks with documented proof and interviews from brothers that are over there. How all of them view us as totally ignorant concerning true history. Folks, in this castle, there was a place where they would e-par our sisters. E-par spelled backwards. You know how the algorithms are here. Okay? And there is history to prove, and unfortunately, it's the truth. The women fought back harder than the men in defiance of the Roman rule. In that castle, the women fought harder than the men, and it's documented in their history, showing you the strength of our sisters, the strength that they've tried to take away from us to utilize for themselves. Yeah, the enemy would like to stop this, but they can't. They can't. Why? We're prophecy. Now, before I open up the lines, I have a few things I want to go over. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for your presence and all the support you've always continued with in your connection with our church. Let me say this first and foremost. We need your prayers. We need your prayers, brothers and sisters. In our absence, send up those prayers to the Almighty and continue to ask the Most High to strengthen this church, to strengthen the elders, to strengthen the people who are working behind the background and the people that you don't know that are operating to make this work in the Spirit of Christ. Pray for us. Pray for us, brothers and sisters, like we pray for you. There's a serious battle. The enemy has focused on our people because why? They can no longer deny or try to dismiss the prophetic truth that we are the children of Israel. Guess what? The powers that be don't even try publicly to deny that anymore. They done shift directly into demonizing and attacking. It's not even about denying anymore. It's the other D's. To demonize and destroy. That's the mode they're in now. So make sure y'all send those prayers up, and we will continue to pray for you. Oh yeah. Before I go into this and open up the calls, okay, I would like to say thank you to all who have enrolled in our Hebrew and Bible Academy. I mean, it's going great. We just went through an academy, a lesson, tracing the serpent seed, the gods of this world, showing you how Lucifer and the fallen angels were here before Adam. How they took power and actually began to reprocreate on the earth. Now, in next week's academy, we're going to show how the Nephilim and the fallen ones got from this side of the earth to that side of the earth. Okay, we're going to go into it from tracing the serpent seed to the promised seed to prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that a promised seed exists here in the earth, and they know that seed belongs to Christ, and they know that seed genetically are connected with the slaves. With the slaves. And that's why what's going on over in Africa is such a great mission. A great mission. You have many people out there, many organizations have been targeting Africa. Claiming malaria and all these other diseases that came up from nowhere so that they can come with the magic fix. And you know what their fixes always are anyway, right? But now the truth is there, and we're going to let people know the HIV, all that stuff that they've been talking about. We're going to break it down and let them know, y'all better wake up. Africa, wake up. Israel, wake up. We have always been under attack. Why? Why are we under attack? Because the truth ends a world that was built on lies. That's why. Let me say it again. The truth ends a world that was built on lies. And Christ said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You know we're dealing in the world of lies. Anytime you question anything, the next the media narratives out there, the next day they come with fact checkers. If it's the truth, you don't need a fact checker. Facts are facts. We don't need someone verifying whether or not something is the truth, if it's the truth. I don't need, when I teach the word and bring forth the word of God, I don't need someone to come the next day and say, well, this is not true, or I'm the fact checker to verify whether or not it's real. I don't need to do that. Prophecy unfolds. And prophecy gives the Bible its validity. See? So you know that something is wrong in the world and they're losing a grip. When any story come out and someone come with an opposing or an objective, at the least, view, a fact checker have to say, no, bad, knock it down, it's wrong. I'm the fact checker. That's how you know this world is built on lies. The truth doesn't need fact checkers. Okay? Prophecy is what proves the word of God is true and prophecy is unfolding. Now, while I'm going there, this coming week, we're going into tracing the serpent seed. And we're going to show all the phenotypes of the original nations on the earth so that brothers can understand what every race, who everyone is in this earth. Okay? And you're going to understand why at the very end, while they downsizing us, you're looking up through immigration. You're looking up and you're seeing East Indians, Asians, and all these others. Well, this is the final Tower of Babel. They're putting the people in place who were originally against the seed of Abraham during the time of the erection, during the time of that the Tower of Babel was getting erected. So when I go into tracing, Abraham's promised seed, we have to show you all the other seeds on the earth, not to look at them as anything negative. Why? They know who we are. Why shouldn't we know who they are prophetically? And I'm going to show this coming Sunday how the Catholic Church came in and switched it all around through their doctrine to make people believe that there's a such thing as a spiritual Israelite, so that they can erase us genetically out of their theology. All through the Old Testament, God came for a people. And it wasn't until the Romans took charge that they came up with another theology, that it doesn't matter theology. And I'm going to tackle that this Sunday. I'm going to go from the Old Testament to the New Testament and show, even though God made all people, he chose one. And the people who are claiming to be the chosen people are not the people. that and more. Do me a favor, folks. Hit that like button if you wish. Just help us out. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. Now, let me show you all something, brothers and sisters. Let me see where Lawya is real quick. Let me check for Lawya. Let me check for Lawman. 1 second. It's hot up in here. I need some air con. Seems as if the weather jumped right from winter to summer, didn't it? Let's see. Right? Hebrew and Bible Academy. I want to see y'all there this Sunday when I go into tracing the serpent, not chasing the serpent seed. That was last week. And guess what? Brothers and sisters, we've just touched on it. But we're able to connect the serpent seed, like we did last week, the Nephilim, to the modern day European, that's right, royal, whom they call royal families. How they began to mix their genetics with Nephilim. I have the proof. They're part Canaanite, not us. We're the Israelites. They're part Canaanite, and I have the proof. Hebrew and Bible Academy, go to historytimes.org. Don't even worry about it if you missed the other 2 weeks, because we're going to make sure you get those 2 weeks anyway. You will get those in advance if you enroll. Even if you enroll tonight, before tomorrow, you will have the lessons. You can catch up. And by the time of Sunday, you'll be right on course, hearing the word and the truth that's tearing this world down. Oh, yeah. historytimes.org. Now let's go in. Let's go in. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do it this way. No, not that. I'll bring you in later, sir. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. Let's do it this way. I'll do it this way, yeah. Now, when you go to Google, and type in Cesar Borgia, right? When we go to Google and type in Cesar Borgia, the image of this criminal comes up, right? Now look, as you can see, all I did was type in, as you can see here, Cesar Borgia into Google, and this criminal right here came up. Now, I'm not being facetious when I say criminal. This is Cesar Borgia, the second son of Alexander VI, Pope of Rome. He was known as a poisoner, a triptych of poisoners, in a book. And look at this. And they put this guy up to be Christ, right? Now, they did a show on this guy, the Borgia family, right? Here he is. The second son of Alexander the Sixth, Pope of Rome, an Edomite. An Edomite. Now, all of us know that Christ didn't look that way. But now, that leads us to other questions that need answers. If they would be so bold to lie on the Son of God, Can we believe anything they tell us? So, and I need you all to answer these questions from your own vantage point. When I ask you on the radio show, when the radio calls are open, why didn't they tell us the truth? I need you to give me your opinion and answer of why you think. But let me tell you, I know why. Like I mentioned, the truth ends their world. The world is built on lies. And see, it's not just Cesar Borgia. It's not just Cesar Borgia, folks. We were told that Christopher Columbus discovered America, while the North American Indians were here already. That's what we were told. Right? Now, I'm not revealing anything you didn't know already, but America wanted us to believe that this guy was a Spaniard. But when you look into his family history, his genealogy, he links to, the synagogue of Satan. Like the Bible says. Now, why am I bringing this out right now, brothers and sisters? Africa, slave ships, white image, Christopher Columbus. Folks, the world we live in, the reality of the world we live in, is one big lie. And the only way to untangle these lies is absolute truth. The Bible. That's why. Let me drop this on you all. Christopher Columbus. Now, usually I do things like this in the academy, but I'm going to just bring out a few sources, folks. As you can see, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay? Hold up. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right? I'm going to put these to the side real quick. Christopher Columbus. See, I like to go into books that have historical references dating back to colonial years when they were forming the lies, when they were creating the lies that would have the people deceived concerning God's people here. Right? Now, someone gifted me with this book. It's called Inventing the Flat Earth. And I'm going to go into flat earth also. As soon as I jump into the Academy Sunday, that's the first thing we're going to touch on is that satanic ideology that all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere. It's not a new concept. Christopher Columbus. Now, why didn't they tell us the truth? Listen to this. On page 3 of this particular book, The Well-Rounded Planet is the chapter. It tells us the European settler of 1,000 years ago also had many other strange beliefs besides witches and devils. Now, it's not strange to know that witches and devils exist, okay? He turned to these beliefs because he had no other way to explain the dangers of the unknown sea. He believed that a ship could sail out to sea just so far, but it fell off the edge of the sea. The people of Europe 1,000 years ago knew little about the world. A prestigious text for college students informed them that the the fact that the earth is round was known to the ancient Greeks but lost in the Middle Ages. Literature follows suit. Joseph Chiari's play Christopher Columbus contains this dialogue. Columbus. This is what Christopher Columbus said. And a lot of this comes from his dialyse also. The earth is not flat, Father, it's round. The prior, don't say that. It's the truth. It's not a mill pond strewn with islands, it's a sphere. Don't say that. It's blasphemy. Now, let me show you how far the rabbit hole goes, brothers and sisters. Let me make it clear. The flat earth was just a misdirection. At a time to throw people off from who? Christopher Columbus' real objectives for coming to the Americas. Now, when you read history and you see them come with flat earth again, you know it's another distraction or another misdirection. So that everyone will be arguing the shape of the earth. See, and the whole thing is, that's why I titled this, Why They Didn't Tell Us the Truth. Because even what we call absolute history, in their arguments concerning historical truths, are lies. There was never really an argument concerning the shape of the earth. I can go back into history that predates the colonial years, where all the Gentile nations knew that the earth was round. That flat earth stuff started getting taught near the Middle Ages up until the time America was founded. But it was injected into history as a distraction. Why? Why is the question? Oh, where my other book at? What did they want people at that time? Why did they want those people at that time to focus on the shape of the earth as the reason to why Columbus was sailing? And not the true reason royalty opened their coffers, their deep coffers, to send him here, to send him into these regions. They wanted people to argue, oh no, he's going out there to see if the world is flat or whether or not it's round, when that wasn't the objective. That wasn't the mission. Here you go. Right? Let me show you here. A matter of fact, real quick. Let me turn it down just a little so you can see it. So you can see it. The Lost Tribes in the Promised Lands by Ronald Sanders. Lost Tribes in the Promised Land by Ronald Sanders. And what I'm going to do here, what I'll do, so that you brothers and sisters can't think I'm making this up, brighten it back up. So you brothers and sisters cannot think that I'm making these things up. Let me show you why they used flat earth as a misdirection. Let me show you. Let me show you here. Columbus. Columbus. Let me tell you, folks, all of their history is a lie and misdirection. Let me get it here. Columbus. Now, what I did here for your convenience, I usually do this in the academy, brothers and sisters. I took a picture of the history of why Christopher Columbus came here, based on his own diaries, based on his own memoir or diary. I'm on page 79. Yeah, I'm on page 79. Yeah, this book is busted. And you know what? It ain't going nowhere, even if I have to tape it up. You see, you look at this. Hold on. 1 second. I know y'all can hear me. Hold tight. Hold tight. One moment. I know I'm stuck, but the devil is a liar. Hold tight. Hold tight. I'm not going nowhere, folks. 1 moment. Hold tight with me now. All of a sudden, the camera going haywire. It's good. Don't worry about it. One second. Don't go anywhere now. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Here, I am back. The devil is a liar. That's right. Don't go nowhere. You see how it happens, brothers and sisters, when I'm bringing something out? You see what happens? See, this book is busted, right? Don't go. The devil is a liar. That's why I'm fighting through tonight, folks. Every time they try to attack and try to slow this word up, we're going to bring it strong. Okay? And we're going to bring it even harder than if they would have just left us alone. Okay? In the record, brothers and sisters, and folks, let me tell you, I'm gonna show y'all why they really don't want to mess with what's going on back here real quick. Let me show you something. Okay? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whatever they want, we got. Okay? Whatever they want, we have. The devil can't hide no more. Okay? The devil cannot hide. We got all his records. We have his records. And there's more, and there's more, and there's more. In that way too. That way too. Okay? Matter of fact, let me grab this one also. Let me grab this one too. Yeah. Let me show y'all how we do this. Let me show you how we do this, family. Right? Let me show you how we do this. Right? Let me show you how we do this. See, the devil is a liar. See, they can't say that we wrote these books, folks. So the whole deal is, the whole world knew who we were the whole time and lied to our people. They all knew. It was in their history books. I'm going to show you. Christopher Columbus didn't come to the Americas or near the Indies because he thought to prove the earth was round. That's stupid. Enter Columbus on page 79. Follow me. Follow me. It says right here, a matter of fact, it says, but meanwhile, listen to this clearly. A matter of fact, let's start here. I'm going to start on page 78 and move it over to the page you're looking at. The sudden display of interest of Jewish matters is startling and weighs considerably in favor of the argument that Columbus was a new Christian. Right? And it goes down and say, along with the racial Christianity is an idea of revelation that places the mystical Esdras right at the center. He's talking about second Esdras in the Bible. It says, for the note is saying that the acceptance of the apocryphal Esdras as valid prophecy is what distinguishes the new Christians from the reprobate Jews, who reject him even though they regard the Old Testament Ezra as if repudiate the God of the prophets, and presumably the result will be the same. Listen to this clearly, folks. The rabbinical Jews of Spain, the note seems to imply, are to be the lost tribes of modern times. One wonders whether this note was written before or after the expulsion of the Jews in 1492. Now I'm going to give y'all some history on the expulsion of the Jews in the 1400s. That's going to blow y'all away too, because you wouldn't believe who was really getting expelled. Wink, wink. But meanwhile, the Apocrypha Ezra, now I'm on the page you're reading now, brothers and sisters. The Apocryphal Esdras, which was, by the way, a book of special importance to many new Christians. Hold up now, check it out now. Christianity today tell us to stay away from the Apocrypha. But during the time of Columbus, Christians were very concerned or very interested, a better word, in the Apocrypha. It says, a book of special importance to many new Christians has a good deal to say about the original lost tribes. And this could not have passed lightly under Columbus's somewhat mystical gaze. Surely he was special. He saw special meanings in his own times and for himself in this passage. Now look at the passages that Christopher Columbus brought to Queen Isabella as his reason to prove that the lost tribes were in a different part of the earth, the West. They paid Christopher Columbus. His conquest had nothing to do with a flat earth. It had everything to do with finding the lost tribes over here, or at least charting a path so that the conquerors and the armies could follow his paths. Listen to this. In the middle of the page. But the warlike multitude is subdued by the man from the sea. And then another multitude, a peaceable one, comes to him. Right? If Columbus did indeed glimpse himself in the role of the man from the sea, then Ezra's identification of the peaceable multitude takes on special significance. Now listen to the scripture that he brought to the queen. 2 Ezra 13:40 through 40 through 42. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh the king of Assyria led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land, the New World. But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. the New World, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. What? Christopher Columbus, brothers and sisters, were reading the Apocrypha. 2nd Ezra 13, 39 through 42. They were reading the Apocrypha. They were using our scrolls to find our lost brothers here in the Americas. They used every time you hear flat earth, it's a misdirection to have people look another way so that they could do what? Deceive, destroy, attack, and or enslave the children of Israel. It's a code word for them. The flat earth is a code word for them, folks. It's a code word. Now, why do they want people arguing flat earth? Because they know anyone who believes in it or don't believe in it isn't going to spend any resources or time going to the ends of the earth to verify whether or not their hypotheses are true. They know no one can prove it either way. Personally. But why do they bring the argument up in our current time? The same way they brought it up during the time of Christopher Columbus, to distract us, our people, at the same time, and by the same time, they're attacking us. It's a code word. That's what it is. And that's why I'm so glad I seen this book. A sister sent me this book, Inventing the Flat Earth. Very good book, and I got other records to prove that they always knew the earth was fair or round. But it's a code word to have the whole world looking at something that no one can prove while they are attacking, finding out the genetics, and are destroying the lost tribes of Israel. Oh, yeah. Listen, I don't care if people believe it's flat, round, or triangle. Let's follow God's law on the earth. How about that? I'm not going to argue that because that's what they want people to do. It's ridiculous. Okay? You can believe it's in the shape of the number 8 if you would like. Just do good on it. Treat your fellow man right on it. Okay? Now, woo! Now, why didn't they tell us the truth, folks? Why? View of the Hebrews of 1825 by Ethan Smith. Now, I have one of the original older books, but this is a newer copy of a preacher by the name of Ethan Smith, who was reporting back to England that they found the lost tribes of Israel to stop slaughtering the North American Indians. That's right. It's immoral because these are God's people, and that will send, if you continue to destroy these indigenous people, God will eventually send a curse on the children of Europe if you continue to kill these people. But the political narrative at this time is that the killing of these people in America was justified, the indigenous people. Why? Because these people were savages. They were savages who needed to be tamed, who needed to be civilized or tamed. The same garbage they said about us. We were civilized before America, folks. We were civilized. Electric wasn't discovered through a kite key in some some fat white Freemason flying a kite. Okay? The technology of Africa came here to the Americas by us. We was using electricity in Egypt during Joseph's times of the Hyksos period. Okay? Records that cannot be denied. But what happened? What happened? This is what happened. And I'm going to be going into this during our time of the lesson, the split between Israel and Judah in the Hebrew Bible Academy. The religious instructions of the Negroes in the United States. Religion isn't here for the truth, brothers and sisters, including Christianity. It's a political tool to keep the minds of the children of Israel enslaved. Churches today, or since the inception of this country, were never really religious, sovereign religious, or separated institutions. They were propped up for political control. It was about politics, folks. That's why as soon as you see an event happens in America that happens to black people, who do they roll out? You got it. Reverend Sharp Perm. Every time. They never meant for us to break free and find the truth of ourselves in the book. The enemy became our masters by overtaking and above all, creating the view or creating how we would view God and God's people and God's law. They shaped an erroneous view of God. And by proxy, because we're God's people, that's right, we began to shape an erroneous view of ourselves. The religious instructions of the Negroes, something else we'll be going into in the academy. Right? I'm going to put it all to the side. Now, why didn't they tell us all of this, folks? Why couldn't they outright tell us that the slaves who left Ghana, who left the Ivory Coast, were in fact the prophetic children of Israel? Why couldn't they tell us that? Why couldn't they tell us that the indigenous people that Christopher Columbus set out to find from the beginning, that he was actually searching for? Now, he never were able to take it as far as the conquerors and the conquistadors and others who came after him, but he surely charted the paths for the armies to come. Now, why didn't they tell us that the indigenous people, like Ethan Smith did, and Ethan Smith, we have to respect him. He's a European preacher in 1825 who set out clear, went into the burial grounds, spoke to the chiefs here in America, and knew beyond any shadow of a doubt that these chiefs were from the lost sheep of Israel, those who traveled to the Americas in 721 BC. This preacher knew history. He understood the Bible wasn't just a religious book to train to train the sheep to follow the status quo. That the Bible isn't just a feel-good book for sermons. That the Bible in of itself is a history book, a history of a people, a history for our people, for all people of the earth. Now, why didn't they tell us that the indigenous people were Israelites? Why? I'm going to show you. I'm going to open up the calls in a moment. Why? Number one, our Lord and Savior said what? Let's get it. Let's get it here. This is what our Lord and Savior Christ said. Okay? I don't even have to prove what color he is. I'm not even going to go there. It's the enemy that would put up their own people being proud as the Son of God, and then shape a theology to claim that Christ is God. So by default, we see them as our God. Give a straight psych job on people. I don't have to go there. Once we found out the truth, they were already off of that lie and on to another. Okay? They were already off that lie. You know, they just use up a lie long enough until we find out and just jump to the next thing. Okay? They don't care. That's how liars are. Okay? This is why they didn't tell us the truth, brothers and sisters. First and foremost, Christ said, St. John 8:32, that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now understand the power in that small verse, brothers and sisters, that comes with that small verse. Look at it. It's only a few words in red. Look at it. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now, why didn't they tell us the truth? You know why? They never intended, they never intended, brothers and sisters, on freeing us. So how can we look to the country or the world who've enslaved us to give us the truth that would set us free? The knowledge of ourselves. You don't teach slaves freedom. Truth is freedom. So that would be a contradiction, folks. To put someone in slavery, which is prophetic, and then make and free their minds with the truth of who they are. Does that make any sense? They couldn't tell us the truth and sustain their power the same time. They couldn't. The truth of who we are ends their world because according to their prophecies that they have looked into, we're next. And when one of our family members come to the knowledge that we're Israel and we begin to teach our children, they understand that the clock is ticking down on the empire. They understand this. Now, brothers and sisters, I don't expect these liars who've lied on top of lies to ever come clean. Don't hold your breath waiting for it. It really comes down to we as the children of God, what are we going to do with the information? What are we going to do with the knowledge of knowing that we are chosen? Our actions in this earth changes the course of it. We're the children of God. We're the lost genetics that they've been searching for. And that's why they set up philanthropy to go into these remote areas. Why would you care about whether or not a disease is near in an area where there's no roads? Why would you be seeking out these people? I'm going to tell you why, folks. They had to put their health systems in place throughout the four corners of the earth to search for that specific genetic code. They know who we are, folks. So I don't expect them to ever tell us the truth. I expect them to do what they're doing. Lie, distracting, misdirecting, while doing what? Going full force in their initiatives to finish what they couldn't do to us in 70 AD, to finish what they thought they could do. 721, the kingdom was split under Solomon. And when the Indians and other tribes, when the lost tribes came over here, guess what? They were left for dead. Some of the lost tribes went into the Asian areas and were enslaved by the Mongols, by Magog, China. What we are and what the indigenous people over here in North, Central, and South America have become under the system, under Papal Rome, is what the Cambodians, the Filipinos, that's right, folks, they are Israel. It's what they became to China. The Filipinos and the Cambodians are from the lost tribes of Israel. And guess what? I don't have to say that. I'm not just pulling this out of the air, folks. All of the lost tribes can be found in the Jewish Encyclopedia. They know where the lost tribes are in these remote areas. They went and searched them out like they did us in Africa, like they did us in South and Central America, because they cannot assume the New World Order until they find all of the genetics of the lost tribes of Israel and rid the earth of it, of those genetics. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's the time we're living in. They'll use philanthropy, they'll lose health, they'll use whatever they need to. But the objectives are the same. Oh yeah. Oh, y'all didn't know Magog was China? I got that too. Don't get me started up in here. Oh, y'all thought China wasn't even recognized, and y'all thought China wasn't recognized at all in the scriptures. Like what they're doing prophetically in the end days, you thought that they were just some people just marching around from another seed? No, Esau tried to hide himself, and so did China. Yeah. Oh yeah, China thought they was going to hide too. See, and that's why they started drafting under Biden new laws that would protect Asians, saying stop Asian hate when no one is doing anything against Asians. They knew eventually we would find out that China's conspiracy with Esau to finish what they couldn't do in the past. Yeah. Huh? What you want? I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this right now. Huh? Where is it? Let me pull this picture up. There it is. Yeah, I just took a picture of it so y'all can't think that, you know what I mean? I'm going to bring you the proof. We usually bring these out in different lessons in the academy and all that, but I'm going to show some of what we have right now, folks, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Right? Yeah, we got you too. We know who you are, who made yourself out of a little Babylon over there. All of a sudden, oh man, something came from Wuhan. America, yeah, watch out, Wuhan, when they're all in it together, folks. Let me show you. Let me show you, okay? Y'all can go for that crap they trying to sell y'all if y'all want, okay? Yeah, China. Uh-huh. Yeah, let me put it right there. Yeah, we coming with it for you. Uh-huh. Where you at? Where you at, China? Yeah, here you go right here. Boom. What's this? This is Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38 from what? Oh yeah, I know they mad. I know they're mad. Holy Bible from the ancient Eastern text. Y'all thought we wasn't going to see this, did you? Huh? Yeah, so let's go. Let's go. Now, out of your King James Version Bible, let me go here first. Let me read it out of the King James Version first. Ezekiel 38. Uh-huh. Ezekiel 38, right, reads, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." Now let's see, brothers and sisters, what it says here. And the word of the Lord, Ezekiel 38, came to me saying, Son of man, set your face against China and against the land of the Mongolia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against you, O China, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. China, we got you too, China. The Most High see you. Huh? Now let me tell y'all what the misdirections are here in Babylon and in the Western world according to their theology. They have misdirected you by making you believe that Russia was Gog and Magog, when the Mongolians, the Asians, owned that territory of Russia before the conquest of what? Alexander the Greek's generals, who began to push the Mongols further east into the place we call China today. So when the Bible gives prophecies, it's not given prophetic. It is not given prophecies on the people who have colonized and taken over the land as Edomites. Edomites in the Bible will fulfill their prophecy as Edomites. It doesn't matter what land they've taken. And the Mongols, Japheth, yeah, they're Japhetic. Asians, the Asians, they will fulfill their prophecy according to bloodline. It doesn't matter where they are in the earth. And that's where they're getting twisted in your modern day Western quack job Christian theology. The Christian right wings are claiming, oh, Russia, watch out for Russia. Russia is a part of the 10 horns of, that's right, of the dragon. They're all in it together, folks. So they got you looking at Ezekiel 38 and this so-called war and making you believe that Russia has a problem with America. Wake up, folks. How many Russians you see here in America? Okay, they live here. Wake up. It's a conspiracy against God's people, and they have you looking the wrong way prophetically. China, it says, the Most High says he will put hooks in their jaws and bring them back. Bring them back where? Into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's why the Chinese are building in Africa right now. To get rid of the people and to do what? And to try to rape the earth of his resources, because they're going to need Africa to survive. That's why they didn't allow Africans to even dig there. They didn't even allow Africans to preserve and take advantage of the minerals that they're living on and dying on. Why? Because they knew that those would be the last resources in the earth that they figured would feed the elite. So they didn't let the people that live on the country get what the country produces. But God said, that's right, folks. You reap what you sow. And guess what? The prophecy is going to come around. The people who are doing the diseases, those same diseases will eventually fall on those countries. And Israel will go into the wilderness unscathed. China made herself after Babylon. They're together. But through religious misdirection, they made us believe that Russia was China. That China was just some people that don't have no prophetic significance. We got y'all too. So, I'm digressing down. You know, the enemy try to do whatever they can to try to slow things down, but I'm going to tell you, the more the enemy attack, the more we're going to bring forth the understanding to do what? To absolutely bring forth Jacob. If one person who didn't understand or thought the Bible wasn't true come back to the knowledge of their God and begin to follow these laws, if one person tonight does this, we've done our job. We've done our job. Because we know the power of our Christ and how he can utilize just one man or one woman. We're waking you up. The enemy can do what he want to do. They think they're going to get rid of us. But you know what? That's not in the prophecies. They think they're going to turn the world into transhumanism and have us attacked through robotics or compromised genetics. But that isn't in the prophecies for the remnant. The Bible is true, brothers and sisters. Listen to what I'm going to show you right now. So, if they cannot use the slaves, you know what? If they cannot use the slaves, they might as well pull the plug on Babylon altogether. See, and that's the plan, so that all power can go back to the 10 horns like it's written in Revelation 17. So now everything is a lie. They did that on purpose. Since we're finding out the truth, Satan and his ministers are just throwing everything on the road trying to get away. Lie after lie. So if they can lie on Christ, his image, his family, his people. I'm going to say this again to y'all, folks. Why do you believe anything they're telling you through media? Why? let me put it this way. They figure that, listen, if we can't control the children of Israel, if we can't keep them enslaved, because why? We measure how rich we are by how poor we make them. See? What of our status if these people began to understand that they are royalty, that they are truly the royalty of the earth? Huh? What of us? What of our status? So if we can't rule over God's people, we'll implode it all. We'll just lie on everything. What's a man anymore? What's a woman anymore? See? What's a family anymore? See, when we allow lies to fester, starting with not telling our people the truth, truth no longer exists. See? If we allow them to lie on us, then everything is a lie. I need y'all to think about that. So as soon as we found out who we were, they were like, okay, we might as well do away with this Bible. We can't use them to make them believe that, to continue to have them believe that they are inferior. We can't measure how rich we are by their poor status anymore, because they understand the promise. They know that their status or the place they're in right now is only temporary. Let's implode it. So since we're going to implode it, who cares about the great talent of Israel anymore? Who cares? Who cares? Check this out, brothers and sisters. In Revelations 18, when it tell you this, in 17, it tell you that the 10 horns are going to conspire to make it where Babylon is destroyed. And this is why they're making sure that throughout the whole earth, America show forth weak representation. How can a country be a superpower when it doesn't even understand what a family is anymore? When it doesn't even, they're arguing over whether or not a man is a man or a woman is a woman. And when genetic lines are no longer kept pure, it ends a nation anyway. Revelations 18:18 reads, "And I cried when I saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city like unto this great city?" 19, "And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping, wailing, saying, At last, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of their costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate." All the nations are going to be crying because as immigrants, they were able to come over and take advantage of the slaves like we were their harlots. They could no longer take turns on us now. It's this immigrant's turn. It's that immigrant's turn. It's the Italian's turn. It's the Spaniard turn. It's the Chinese turn. See? It's the East Indian turn. "20, Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God have avenged you on her, and a mighty angel took a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea." 21, "Saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers," that's musicians, folks, musicians, pipers, trumpeters shall be heard no more, all in thee. And no craftsman, that's right, no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. No more work. See, and this is why they had the great, what they would call, I think they call that, when COVID happened, it was like a great retirement where a lot of people went into, that left the workforce and never went back. And the light of a candle shall no more be seen in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more. Why? Because man and woman have given up the value of marriage altogether. You have people in the earth who are straight, would rather be partners. A word that the others cast off when they took on the titles of husband and wife. And the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. Now we're living in a system where it's all about swiping, and now men can get their releases without any commitment. There's no need for them to commit. Because everything that they would actually having the love of a woman was one of the caveats of being married. So it's eroding down to a total destruction anyway until the war crushes it all together. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For the merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. The sorceries are the lies, the pharmakeia that they're pushing through pharmaceutical and all this other stuff to keep us distracted off of what? How close we are to true redemption, to true deliverance. And it was found, and in her was found what, brothers and sisters? The blood of the prophets and of the saints and of all that were slain upon the earth, the righteous. Brothers and sisters, America altogether has given up its belief in God. And what happens to such a place? No God, no country. See? Without God, there is no honor. Without family, there's nothing to protect. And all they had to do to save this world, if they wanted to save it, only thing they had to do was tell the people the truth. Stop lying for political gain. Tell children the truth. Tell people the truth. It's okay. Tell them the value of the value that comes with keeping a family together. That without family, there's no legacy. There's no bloodline that can live on to say, yeah, here's an album of my great-great-great-grandfather and great-great-great-grandmother who was married, and their family married into this family, and this married. Guess what, folks? That's right, folks. That's what a country is. A country isn't landmass. Countries were made out of nations. Genetic bloodlines linking directly back to Ham, Shem, Japheth. The people at the Tower of Babel, and above all, the sons and daughters of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Folks, through Christ, the children of Israel, by extension, are the saviors of this world, the only hope left. And I'm going to tell you this, they didn't tell you this because the God of this world know that eventually our people will stand with our leader Christ to see him cast in hell on the day of the mighty judgment. See, we here, preachers of the Bible, the Gathering of Christ Church, myself, Elder Rawchaa, I don't have no problem with other races of people. I understand that they have been deceived. The enemy lied to them too and want their souls too. I understand we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but I identify the nations of the people. Why? Because no one can understand prophecy without knowing the people on the earth according to God. Why didn't they tell us this? And I'm going to say this. Brothers and sisters, all this cankering and going back and forth and thinking you're talking about somebody and all the rumor of anything and try to tear others down and all that, that's the works of the devil. And see, and that's why I'm coming forth tonight, even though the devil would try to stop us from going forth and bringing forth this word. That's why I came tonight, because listen, brothers and sisters, all the talking out there, whatever it is in the world, because it's all, this whole world is about rumor, innuendo, reality shows, and all this madness. Everyone needs to stop for a moment and hear God. Here, it's not even about a person, any person. Listen to what I'm telling you. Right now, I can say something about a man or a woman or whatever the case, what they're doing. And the next day, the Most High can turn that same man into a prophet, into a teacher. He can have a woman repent who have done many sins against his law. And through baptism, after she confesses her sins, she could become a chaste virgin for the Almighty to do a service, to show a good example of what a daughter of Zion is. And no one can say nothing about it because the Most High has exalted her. So people can say what they want. The Most High use who he wants to use. And I need y'all to understand that. The more you try to do the work and do what's right, the enemy is going to focus on you to make you believe that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. But let me tell you, Christ put his blood on that crucifix so that you would be worthy. And no matter what someone say about you, that blood will cover you to be able to stand in his stead to represent him on earth. And that's what the enemy doesn't want. We've been soiled as a people to a degree that would make us feel guilty and make us believe we're not worthy because of our past or anything we've done. Don't let the enemy try to put you in a corner and put you in timeout based on the past. It doesn't matter what you did last week or yesterday. You can serve the Most High right now. and be worthy. And that shuts up the naysayers who are focusing on you and not the enemy that's coming to destroy all of them. The enemy is after, and this is how Satan attacks, brothers and sisters. He'll make you believe you're not worthy. And that's why people say, yeah, they did this, or she did this, or he did this, or they did that. And I'm saying this, brothers and sisters, never let that become your work. What you say about others. Let your work be in caring for others, converting others, loving others, knowing the enemy's at the door, and bringing forth the truth. All right. I got a lot. Elder Lawya, I don't know if Elder Lawya is ready, but we got about, 40 minutes before it ends. Let me see where Elder Lawya is. A matter of fact, one moment, let me call in Blog Talk first. Let's see, 1 second.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Unmuted.
Let me bring Lawya in here. All right. Another great book. Everyone should have this book, and I'll be going into it in this academy. The Talmud Unmasked. Everyone everywhere need to get this book and understand who's really running things under Satan on this earth. This book, The Talmud Unmasked, get it before Amazon says it doesn't no longer exist, okay? The Talmud Unmasked. Everyone should have it. I don't know what time it is over in Africa, but if Africa want to chime in, God, I know you're over there. Let me know, okay? Let's see here. Elder Lawya, let me bring you in, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. I'll do it this way then. 515-605-9327. Let's see. I'm going to bring up another window here, Elder Lawya. Oh, I see you. I see you. One moment. Right there. Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom, Elder. The enemy is busy right now, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Busier than ever, if you ask me.
Hey, I'll tell you what. People can't say we wear a billion hats, man. If they see what we do outside of this, they'll know. You know what I mean? This is the Church of Christ, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get ready for our lesson this coming Sabbath, Elder Lawya, when Satan attacks. Brothers,
yes, sir.
Brothers and sisters don't know. They just think there be circumstances where they're just having a bad day, something is going on, or somebody is doing something against them. They don't even know when there's a targeted effort from hell with their name on it. So I'm going to be talking about that this coming this coming Sabbath. Everyone must be there when Satan attacked. How do you know when you're being attacked by poltergeist or when a spirit is in another person following you? How do you know when you're under attack and you're being hit in every area? And not only that, when I'm going to make it clear, when you're doing things right, when you're doing the best you can, you still feel you under attack. You still feel you're under attack, and you're trying to shore up all the dark areas to make sure, you know what I mean, you're clean with the Almighty, you're doing the right thing, but it seems like things are still going wrong. Right? Where the Most High is with you, but Satan would like you to become frustrated with him. Right? How do you know? And I'm going into that when Satan attacks this coming Sabbath. But Elder Lawya, I know you were listening to what I was going into, and I said, listen, that's why I'm just hitting them over the head with truths after truths after truths. Our topic today, why didn't they tell us the truth, Elder Lawya, before we open up the lines, if you want to chime in on that, before I talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I know we've been here for quite some time.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read something real quick, and you can elaborate, and then we can open up for the calls.
Yes, sir.
And this is definitely in tune with what we're talking about tonight. Why didn't they tell us the truth?
Yeah.
And I believe the answer to that question is that they know, and now we know, obviously through reading the scriptures, that truth is the most powerful thing on the face of the earth. When you go to the book of 1 Esdras, the 4th chapter, really it starts in the 3rd chapter, but we can't read the whole account tonight. But when you go into that book of 1 Esdras, starting in the 3rd chapter and ending in the 4th chapter, you find an account of a debate that took place under the rulership of King Darius of the Persians. And during this debate, he stated that the man who could come up with the wisest saying would be raised up with all authority and glory within his kingdom. And amongst this debate, you had various men come forward and state what they believed to be the most powerful thing on earth. One man said that wine was powerful, or the most powerful thing on earth. Another man said that the king was the most powerful thing on earth. Then Zerubbabel, who was a Jew, an Israelite, who you can also read of in scripture, he stepped forward and said that first and foremost, that women are the strongest out of all three of those things, but the most powerful thing of them all, above wine, above women, and above the king, is truth. And I'm going to read what he said in regards to specifically the truth. Again, when you get the opportunity, we can't read the whole account, but just read 1 Esdras and your Apocrypha chapter 3 through 4. Now he goes on, and you can elaborate, Elder, as I read through.
Okay.
It says here, 1 Esdras 4 and 34, O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course, for he can passeth the heaven round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and strong is all things, and stronger than all things. Again it says, is not he great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. Exactly. All the earth crieth. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you could have wine, women, finances, but it was broken down that truth was above it all. And guess what's the only thing that's more powerful than truth on this earth, folks? Because truth strengthens a man and places him in this place of dominion, where it doesn't matter what happens under him. He cannot be disrespected. His honor is from on high. But if a man don't have this truth, guess what's the strongest power in this earth? A woman.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the truth, there's no way you can contend with the mind and the skill and the strategy that comes with what a woman is naturally. Because a woman can direct a king to destroy the strongest man. I mean, look what happened to John the Baptist. See? It was a woman's wish. I just need his head on a plate. Even though that came from the king's sword, his men, it was her wish that was behind the movement of the sword. Right? But truth. Go ahead, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. And truth stronger than all things.
Come on.
It says, all the earth crieth upon truth, and the heaven blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Blind is wicked.
And I'm going to say this, brothers and sisters, so y'all can understand it. Why is women more powerful? The most powerful in the earth outside of truth. What I can give you in a nutshell is the understanding of there's a difference between a martial artist and a ninja. A regular martial artist just understand how to fight. A ninja know how to operate in stealth. And it's not the nature of a woman. It's not talking about manipulation or nothing like that. I'm going to tell you. It's talking about the fact that she's already in a weaker posture by her being a woman, which gives her the trust factor automatically next to a man. Automatically, a woman is trusted above a man based on a weak posture. So that's stealth in itself. Because people may underestimate her power. She's just a woman. See? I was living at a time where no man on earth could beat Mike Tyson. But guess who could? Guess who could weaken him to be beaten? Robin Givens. And that's one of the greatest examples we can show. Because a woman can actually lower a man's defenses without using a weapon, without using force. And this is why Satan at the very end will end the world with the feminist movement, because no one see them coming. He have weaponized femininity. Go ahead, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Verse 37. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked.
Now hold up. Now check this out though. We just talking about power in of itself. Keep in mind, suppose a woman use all that power to embolden her bloodline and to also uphold her man. All her power is used so that the king can stand. Her power is his power by proxy. See? Right? And the example I can give you is when Abraham and Sarah went into Egypt. And everyone wanted Sarah, the most beautiful woman on the earth. Everyone wanted her. And he had to pose as her brother so that he couldn't get killed with someone else like the king who would find a fascination for her. But I'll tell you what, because she was there, walking her dainty and beautiful self, and her brother Abraham, who was really her husband, walking with her behind her, she was able to walk all the way into the palace unscathed, without anyone seeing a threat or anything, because they wanted to be around. They wanted to behold her beauty. Man, they would have stopped Abraham at the gate if he was by himself. But the whole world changed because Abraham was able to sit amongst the Chaldees and change science and history from that day. But it was a woman's walk that got him into that position. That's the power, folks. But go on. I know I'm digressing, but I just wanted to hold that out because every time we speak about women, you get or men or whatever, people think there's a negative connotation where the power is all about being bad or being evil or wicked. Women can use that same power for righteousness too, but no one really talks about that.
Right.
Right? Come on, let's go.
Yes, sir. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked.
Read that again.
Wine is wicked. The king is wicked.
Say that again. The king is wicked.
The king is wicked.
Say that again.
The king is wicked.
And the reason why we're going to say the king is wicked, the king is wicked, the king is wicked is because that is a man. The highest height of what any man can become on earth. And the Bible says a man is wicked. So that the king is wicked. So no one can say out there, well, why are you not saying anything about the man and what the men does? It's just that people have select hearing. And with hearing with your feelings, when we talk about a man, that's right. It's not in defense of the man. And that's why you don't take it the same way when we're talking about a man. So you don't really count that. You only count when a woman is being spoken about because you can relate to her through your feelings. But if you were to look back critically at some of these lessons, men are talked about just as much as women, but women do not internalize that because usually what women do is put themselves in the place of what's being talked about. And she can't put herself in the place of a man. So she don't even count that when we're talking about men. So the what is wicked?
The king is wicked.
There go your man. There's no higher man than the king, and the Bible says he's wicked. And I don't see nobody in defense of that king being wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's go.
Yes, sir. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked.
And that's everybody. So no one is absolved. No one is has gotten a pass here.
Mm-hmm.
So he says everybody's wicked now. So what are we going to do to be right? And that's the whole point of pointing it out. Everybody's wicked. So what are you going to do to separate yourself from the rest and be right?
Mm-hmm.
Read.
And such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
Well, you can take it, Elder Lawya. Go ahead. You got it, Elder Lawya. It's your time.
Yes, sir. With her is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the God of truth.
Blessed be the God of truth. Go ahead, Elder Lawya. You got it.
Yes, sir. And with that he held his peace, and all the people shouted and said, Great is the truth and mighty above all things. That's it.
That's it. And this is why, again, brothers and sisters, why they didn't tell us the truth. It's above all things, and the truth sets us free. Now that I know the truth of who I am, I can never see another person based on his race or anything as a greater personal man than I am. There's no superior race as far as I'm concerned, because I know the prophecies concerning our bloodline. And I know that this is their time to rule. And our God gave that time to them. Okay, I'm just going to stay out of their way. All right? They're going to do what they got to do, whatever laws, whatever they want to do, whatever they talking about. That's for those that are that's under their control or under their world. That's on them. If you follow what they're saying and they don't do nothing but la and don't have a track record. They only have a 1-year track record since being in charge for telling the truth. If you want to believe their lies, that's on you. That's your objective. That's your life. But the truth make me free, and I'm free from believing what comes out of their mouth. Okay? I'm free from that. I'm looking into this Bible and understand the prophecies concerning them and how they've always lied and all this. And I'm like, listen, okay? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on them. Fool me twice with the same stuff, shame on me. Folks. That's why I don't get caught up in all these media stories and all that. When have they ever told us the truth? What media narrative out there have ever benefited the children of God? Okay, let's go down the line. 850 area code, Deidre. Shalom, Deidre.
Shalom, Shalom, Elder.
How are you? Where you from, Deidre?
I am a part of the Atlanta body.
Thanks for being here with us this evening. I know it's a little late. We're going to try to get through these calls. What would you like to say? I see you have a comment there.
I do, because my comment is on why they couldn't tell us the truth, and it's actually a very short testimony of the fact that the truth is definitely being spoken. I had a relative whom I would, because I transcribe your lessons and send them to my family members.
Thank you.
And one of them that was incarcerated. Oh, you're welcome. And one of them was incarcerated, and she was sharing the lessons in the prison where she was. Mm-hmm. And she called me and said, I got one of the ladies here who is from Russia, and she asked me, where did I get this information from? And I told her, that I had got it from you. And she was like, okay, but where did she get the information from? And so she told the lady that from the church that she's a part of. She's like, why? She said, but nobody is supposed to know this. Only the real Jews is supposed to have this information. They teach us this in Russia. Only the real Jews is supposed to have this information. And then she looked at this family member and said, it has begun. I have to get back home.
Mm.
And
wow.
And so that made me think of that Isaiah 13 scripture. But I also wanted to state, too, that while you were naming all of the females that they never pay attention to, that the Father used because of our weaker vessel that's placed over us, with Jael against Sisera and Judas against, Holofernes, and Abigail, who was used to dissuade David, and of course Queen Esther against Haman. So if we do what we're supposed to, the Father used us so that we can get victory and help our nation get victory. But I just wanted to just give that testimony of the fact that, yes, the truth is out there, and the people always knew, and it's spreading throughout the prisons, because I'm making sure that it is, because I send it every week to the pastor that's there so that they can spread the truth.
Thank you, sister. And maybe I can reach out to you so you can do this with us, because I have a brother, Gabar, who's he's in the Carolinas also, and he has worked with the prison ministry and went into prison and actually converted. So, do you mind if we give you a call on this?
I surely do not.
And look at that. Hold on. Let me write down your number, sister. I'm going to call you soon, all right?
on,
Okay.
Elder.
I really appreciate it, sister. Hey, man, the world. You hear this, Elder Lawyer?
Yeah, that's a amazing testimony. Amazing.
They said it's begun.
Mm.
The whole world. Now that we're talking and bringing this out, it's like, hey, it's over now. That's why all the corporations are joining together. They try to implode and change the economic system. Because why? The dynamics of the slaves have changed. The dynamics of people whom they've been using have changed. So as we change, so does what? The dynamics for rulership. They always reshuffle things once we realize, what they're doing to us. But now, at one time, they could get away with it. Why, Elder Lawyer? Because we only knew we were black. So they can always move it into another phase. Well,
Right.
they'll say, then they can say, well, it's about color. Then now we can talk about black and brown people. See, because we just said we black. So they're going to throw brown in there too. Now you got the same Chinese and other people and other immigrants who were coming over here destroying us, getting what belongs to us. But when we say we're the children of Israel, that box all of that crap out of there. That black and brown and all this rainbow coalition. No. Are you from the chosen seed of Israel, and do you fit the prophecies of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the Old Testament Israelites who are scattered according to history? That's written not just in the Bible, but the scattered people who were found in the indigenous areas that is recorded in the Jewish Encyclopedia. They'll tell you where the lost tribes are in the other areas of China and all that, the indigenous people. So if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. So all that garbage about y'all trying to get in with the black and brown Kamala Harris and about the black and brown people. And then you have a Reverend Al Sharpern. The black and brown people. The black and brown. We got all the white supremacists. Trump. Nah. That black and brown LBGT? No. Israel. No more can they now shoehorn themselves into our oppression so that they can take the spoils and what belongs to us. No more of that crap. If we identify as Israelites, that exclude all these people who've been exploiting us. Next call, Ralph.
All praises to the Most High, by Hashem Yeshaya Wawa Dash. Hey, Elder Rawchaa, Elder Lawya.
Yes,
How you
sir.
gentlemen doing this evening?
We're blessed by the best, and his name is Yeshaya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, listen, man, the Academy on hit, man. The Academy is nice, man. Everyone needs to understand that this Academy is nothing to be played with, man. We need to be all involved in it. I'm Brother Ralph, man, from the Florida body. Just wanted to just reach out to you briefly, Elder. What you guys are bringing forth is edifying each and every week with the blog talk, with the lessons on the Shabbat, on the Sabbath, as well as coming forth with the Academy each week, man. This thing is amazing. The Most High is touching you guys to bring it, man, and make sure that we are edified and coming forth with information to make sure that we know what's happening in the path that we should be taking. Now, in saying that, I tell you, we understand that this, as it says in Job, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Job, Elder, so that you can kind of edify me. So a guy touched bases with me. I had my grandbabies and all of this down at the we were visiting and being with one of the sisters in the church too, and a family down in Tampa, and we went down to Busch Gardens, and brother asked me about Job, and I understand when we've been taught a lot of philosophy and this and that, and I wanted you to just kind of touch on, if you can, Elder, if you can just touch on a little bit about when they're speaking about Job and they say that Job is a Edomite and this and that, and you don't have to elaborate much on it. I don't want you to go so much into it and anything like that. But if you can just touch on it briefly, and then I can take what you give me and go with that right there in my studies.
Okay.
Is that something that you can do for me,
Well,
Elder?
I can say this right now, right? There is nothing
Yes, sir.
in the Bible per se that shows Job as any particular nation, right?
Yes, sir.
He's a Chaldee. And you have many people, because he's in the Bible of the Old Testament, would believe that, okay, he must be from the chosen seed, right?
Yes, sir.
Of Abraham.
Yes, sir.
But if he is Edom, because there is a testament of Job that says that he was from the sons of Edom, but rejected the gods of his father from the land of Canaan. There are records to say that. So if Job was an Edomite, he's still from the chosen seed of Abraham.
Of course. Yes,
And
sir.
if an Edomite renounces the gods of the other nations and come back to the God of Abraham in Christ, he's accepted.
He is the people.
See?
Without a doubt. Yes, sir. Without a doubt.
Exactly. So there's nothing definitive in the Bible that says we know he was a Chaldee, but Chaldees can be from different races. There were Chaldees of the Babylonians. There's Chaldees of the Egyptians. That's not showing race per se. A matter of fact, Abraham was a Chaldee.
And can I add this, Elder? Because see, when I look at the books of the Bible, each book of the Bible is talking about Israel. If every book of the Bible is us, is the people.
Yeah.
So, even when we begin to discuss that, I don't go with a man running off and dealing with philosophy and all of that, man. I deal with the doctrine of Christ. Okay, so if I stay in that tune, I am doing what is required of me. And I make sure my family is in tune with what's required of me.
Yeah, but that's good. But I don't want to go off because I know I have a lot of calls, but I would like to say this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt.
Just say, hypothetically, because the Bible doesn't give Job a specific lineage, even though I have a lineage line showing Job in it. But sometimes I don't put, because you have to realize it's like this. You have to understand and teach to be all things to all men that they should gain a few. There's nothing to do with Job's race that would have an effect on my walk with Christ. And how and what my duty is concerning my people and this gospel that they've given us to teach the Jews and the Gentiles also. So race beside, if I could put race to the side, I can still look at Job's testimony, and it's the testament of his life as a man who showed faith in the face of adversity.
And now, it says it in the first verse, Elder. You're right. In the first verse of Job,
but listen to me. The reason why people would like to push back that he wasn't an Edomite, because you have people out there with doctrines that are established strictly off of the white man can't do no right.
Come on now.
And it's part of their ideology. So listen. So for the sake of those people who can't see their hand to spite their face, okay, I'm gonna keep it with Job the righteous.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because all in all, if he is an Edomite, then that's a testament that all Edomites don't have to follow the evil path of their father Esau.
Come on.
And for the Gentiles,
Yes.
that's an opportunity for them to follow faith and be better people. And if so, don't we want better people regardless of race?
Come on, Elder.
If a
Come
white
on now.
man can look at Job and say, you know what, Job can do it, let me try it, wouldn't that be one less white man we have to worry about harming us?
Con.
So, so that's what I'm saying. I don't deal with philosophy and all that. I got the records of the lineages
You and I both.
of Job. And a matter of fact, when I go into the lineages this coming Sunday, I will show you the lineages.
Yes, sir.
We going into
I'll
that
be right
this coming
there now.
Sunday
You know,
in the
you know I
academy.
do
All
that
right,
now, right?
Okay, yeah. But I'm saying so people are so many people are so blind with race that it has actually had them error in the scriptures. You have
Yes,
people who
sir.
become an Edomite connoisseur and so focused on what's going to happen to the white man and don't even have enough sense to know that they're supposed to be baptized because Christ was. So so these people are focusing on the wrong thing. You focus on the judgment of the white man when you're not going to make it.
Thank you, Elder.
All right, so let me
exactly what I'm.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
And matter of
Yes,
fact,
sir.
Elder
Yes,
Lawya, then thank you. Since you spurned that the scriptures, real quick, I'm gonna put you on hold, Ralph. Great call. Where it says, let's not just pay attention, Elder Lawya, to how the wicked shall be punished, but how the just shall be saved. Let's get that. Because everybody is so focused on what's going to happen to the white man. What's going to happen and guess what? That lets you know that they're in error according to scriptures. Because you cannot base a doctrine off of your hatred for one particular race. It's stupid. Let me know when you got it, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. I believe this is it. 2nd Ezra 9 and 13.
That's it.
And therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
Hold up. Let's not be curious to how the ungodly shall be punished. I'm going to put you in a captivity. I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab a sword. I'm going to cut you in half. I'm going to put your children somewhere. Idiocy at its best. Read it again.
And therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
Don't be curious.
And when,
Don't be curious to how the ungodly shall be punished and when. But what should our focus be as Israelites?
but inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
But inquire how the righteous shall be saved. You don't even know that you're supposed to get baptized talking about how the white man is going to be punished. Let's go to the next call. I see you, Sunshine. I'm going to bring you in a moment. 410 area code. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, Elder. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best, and his name is Ahiah. And yourself? I see your name is Azra.
Yes. Brother called in last week.
Thank you, my brother. Go ahead.
I would
Floor is
say,
yours.
much appreciated. I would say that in relation to the topic itself, I believe to some extent the reason they can't tell us the truth in itself is because I think they're bound by their own handlers. And it's a fear that comes along with crossing those handlers of theirs to where they feel as if though the punishment that they'll endure from them is going to be far more severe than what's going to happen when this life ends. And it's interesting because there's a show on Disney Plus called Moon Knight, and on, I believe it was the third episode, and it's funny, it ties into the Hebrew and Bible Academy class, which you're talking about portals and stuff, where you had these figureheads of their respective nations meeting at the Pyramid of Giza via these portals, but every single last individual that entered inside of there was inhabited by a specific Egyptian deity.
And an entity, yes.
So,
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So watching that and then listening to what it is that the topic of tonight's broadcast has been, kind of put things in perspective where it's like, I think some of them would love or want to tell the truth, but I feel as if though because of the oath that they took and the punishment that they're going to endure from that, I think it scares a lot of them away from being able to even bring even the smallest measure of truth out there, because, like I said, their bodies are no longer their own anymore. Especially now that you, like Legion, for example.
Yeah.
If a legion of spirits can inhabit one, I mean, what's to say that another spirit can't inhabit your own? And I think that they do, to some degree, in the same breath, tell the truth, but they don't outright tell the truth. It's almost like a cry for help. It's almost like a cry for help, like putting up a smoke signal or a flare or something like that. It's like, I can't necessarily outright tell you that I need help, but I'm going to put it out here like this, and with the information that you may be knowledgeable of, the eyes to see and the ears to hear, perhaps you can help me get out of this situation that I find myself in. So to some extent, I'm not going to say that every last one of them like that, but I do think there's a measure.
It's deep you're saying that, brother Azra, because that's a layer that I wasn't even thinking on, about the entities that have entered that shuts people up. Now that they have given their soul, they're given their bodies as vessels, like a lot of these elites has done. But there's another thing that came to mind while you were speaking that really popped out, right? And what really popped out to me is that a lot of these people are bound by oaths. And under these oaths, that the oaths that they're bound by keeps them within a parameter. There's a barrier by how far they can go with any individual, so that nothing can disrupt the progression of the order. So they're being told, this is what you can say, this is what you can read in degrees, and this is how to use this information. You can use it to benefit you. You can use it to benefit you, this information. But if there's no people, if there's no people to benefit off of, this information really has no power with you. You have to understand that the information is the power that will have it where you'll have those you can operate with. Now, but here's the key. If someone mentioned the information and understand it on the level that you've understood it in the dark, then you can conversate with them on that level. See? So it's not that they can't say it. It's who they can say it to. Like, for instance, when I came out years ago and started telling people Melchizedek wasn't an angel, Melchizedek wasn't Christ that came and was Abraham and all these others, and I told everyone that Melchizedek was Shem. Right? And I started breaking it down. Right. Melchizedek was Shem because Melchizedek isn't a man. He's an actual position that was from the beginning given to Adam. Everyone that holds dominion with God's law was one man, from Adam down to Seth, down to Enoch, Methuselah, Noah, down to Abraham, was what? A Melchizedek. From Shem to Abraham was Melchizedek, where one person held two titles until the 12 tribes splitted those titles, king and priest. Now, I knew that by reading the book of Jasher, where it says Adonizedek, which means Lord of righteousness. Melchizedek, in the Hebrew interpretation in the Bible, is king of Salem, or king of peace. So Jasher breaks that down. So there's no mystery of who Melchizedek was during Abraham's time. It was Shem who taught Abraham. This is why Abraham wasn't a pagan like his father Terah, because Terah didn't raise Abraham. Noah and Shem raised him. Now, I knew that information. And one day I was breaking it down and teaching it, and a Freemason came to me who would never speak to no one else and say, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wow.
You know why? I come to find out later, when they get to certain degrees under Freemason, the book of Jasher is a required read. They must read that as they go up in degrees. And the Most High gave me that information, Jasher and all that, when I was studying to myself and with a few others. And I didn't have to join ranks or make an oath not to talk about it. See? So they can talk to you about what they know if only the outside say it. So it's a closed, compartmentalized oath they have where they can say it, but they can only say it to those who know about it. But I have to go into a whole nother show on that or broadcast on that altogether. But brother, thank you, man. Great points. Very insightful.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right. Anything else? Or are you okay?
No, I believe I'm fine. Oh, by the way, the Hebrew Bible Academy, I know last week you asked the question about what was the, I guess best lesson that you, or your personal favorite one. I would say I meant to say it last week, but I got, sidetracked. But that aside, the wars in heaven, when you were teaching about learn about the rebellion, I knew about Satan getting cast out of heaven. I didn't even pay any attention to the watchers and Azazel getting bound in the in I believe it's the Pyramid of Giza. I might be wrong about that, but
Dudiel in Egypt. Let me tell you
about that.
All of those, the Pyramid Giza is a pre-flood construct built by angels. And it's Azazel, the fallen angel who the Egyptians named Osiris, who's bound under the great rock. That the powers of this world, who the powers of this world go to in worship in Egypt. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, my brother. All right. All right. Shalom.
All right. Shalom.
And a matter of fact, men couldn't move the stones. Men couldn't move the stones for Solomon's temple. That's why the Most High gave Solomon a ring with his name on it, so that he can use spirits, and the spirits that were some of the spirits in the earth who had strength to move those stones and all that, because man couldn't move them. That's right. Just like Christ, Solomon had the power where all spirits would fall under his obedience. But they said, once you sin, we will attack your children, and eventually your children will become servants for us. But before then, I'm going to tell you, Solomon had the power, because man couldn't move those big boulders and oak trees and all that. So Solomon had the power to command so that a lot of those constructs could be made. And that's why even to this day, with all the technology and ingenuity and machinery, you'll never see anyone able to repeat those constructs that we talk about in these biblical constructs. You'll never see anyone build Solomon's temple and how that's made. And you'll never see anyone build a pyramid, because guess what? Outside forces were behind those constructs. And it's not a mystery. We know who built the constructs. It's in the word. Next. Zamar has a question.
Shalom, Elder. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Pretty good. Hey, Elder, I wanted to ask you, I was rewatching the 12-year journey a while back, and I was wondering when are you going to do a part 2 for 12-year journey?
Oh, yeah, I said I would do another part 2, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what? That was just part 1. I'm going to do it again, because we're going to be able to raise what we can to get food and all that, and provisions for what's to come. We're going to do another one for a fundraiser, and we're going to do a 24-hour one. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Where other elders plug in, they'll say something for a few hours, music playing, different things going on from different churches, and we'll come in again. And I'll come in a different part of the night just so we can raise enough because we're in the plenteous time now where we have to get what we need to get to preserve. So we're going to do another one. We're going to do another one. Another journey. We're going to have it where teachings are going to be done 1 hour, conversations, phone calls, music, 24-hour truth by the Gathering of Christ Church. And we're going to make it international. All over the world will have a segment. So while we're sleeping, the UK is doing something. While we're sleeping, Africa's doing something. We're going to do it, brother. Watch it.
Con. Secondly, I have one more question.
Yes.
Also, I remember in one of your videos, too, that you were going to say you're going to do like a morning stream. Like, you know, when people go to work, we can like watch, you know, or hear the stream, you know, while we're at work or driving to work.
Yeah.
You know when you're going to do that?
I wanted to do a morning show and all that, but right now I have to talk to the elders. There's so much on my plate, brother. You wouldn't believe it. There's so much. And once I do a little delegation and delegate some work, I definitely want to do a 1 hour morning show while people are going to their jobs or whatever the case is. A truth show. Every morning that can wake them up and get them ready to go with some spiritual food. I really want to do that. And that's one of my endeavors. I really wanted to say, because I remember there's a certain energy, Elder Lawya and Brother Zamar, that comes with this. There have to be a certain energy in the morning that makes you like, okay, I'm up. The sun is coming up and you're driving to work. And I remember those days. And you got nephew Tommy and what's the comedian's name, Elder Lawya? Steve
Harvey.
Yeah, Steve Harvey, Uncle Tom, and then even the original. What's his name? The one say Hillfinger.
Who's that? Tom Joyner or
no, not Tom Joyner, but the one that's on YouTube now. The one that be smoking a cigar. Talking about Hillfinger. What's it?
you talking about Star?
Yeah, Star. Man, Star morning show. When we used to drive and I was working at the Hartford and all that, let me tell you, it used to wake you up because this guy is hilarious, right? Years ago in the 2000s, I always wanted to do now with the truth. Now, I wanted to do with the truth music coming in between, and straight inspiration, but upbeat that can get us up in the morning, so that brothers and sisters can be inspired while they're out there. And get them through that morning ride and rush or whatever the case is. So I really want to do that. And I'm going to think about doing that, brother. Thank you. Ricky Smiley. Yeah. So we need to have some truth during that time, because they got all types of, you got dudes on their shows talking about, hey, girl, and all that stuff. Hey, listen, when I was listening to the radio before we went out of Babylon, I mean, no one heard of such actions where you would have some guy on the radio show talking about, yeah, girl, here's the tea for today. It's time to break forth with some truth to break their messaging. So I'm going to think about that. I'm going to talk to the elders about that, brother. Thank you. A morning show.
Yes, sir.
That would be absolutely excellent, matter of fact. You know what? We're going to do that. I'm got to think about it. But there's so much on my plate, but don't worry about it. I'm going to try to do something. Zahara has a comment. Zahara, yeah.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best, and his name is Ahia.
I know that's right. Elder, I just want to say, I want to comment on the topic. Why didn't they tell us the truth?
Yeah.
Well, I want to share a quick testimony. I'm a nurse.
Yeah.
And I had a patient in Houston, Jewish patient, and he was the one that opened my eyes to who I was. Had no idea what this man was talking about. He and we would talk, and I would come in and give him his meds and everything, and he one day he told me, he said, Marion, he said, you know what I think? He said, I think you are a part of that tribe. I said, what tribe? He said, you know, the 12 tribes. You don't know about the tribes? I said, no, I don't know anything about the tribes. And Elder, that intrigued me because I'm like, what's this man talking about? Is the medication, you know, like what is he talking about? So I went home and I was talking to my husband and I was telling him about it. And he said, yeah, you know. So I was like, wow, why? I felt like I was like by myself in the world. Like everybody knows about the tribes except me. I don't know who I am. But this man is telling me who I was. So every day when I would go in and take care of him, he would share a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And he would always have that Bible with him. And he's saying, he was chanting the Shema, their Shema, I'm going to say it like that. And I would ask him what he was saying. He shared that with me, you know, with his Shema. But over time, as I began to start looking at videos and things like that, like I said, the Most High was starting to open my mind up.
Okay.
I stumbled across GOCC.
Look at that.
And there it all began. All the steps, it's like everything has started coming together. The Most High did that transition. He would not allow this man to pass on until he told me who I was. So he, like I said, he expired, I'm going to say probably about 5 years ago. And before he expired, the wife would start coming in because his health had really started getting really bad. I mean, it was like really bad to where he would, at first he would be walking. Then it got to a point he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he couldn't feed himself. So she would come in with him. So the day before he got ready to cross over, we were talking, and I told him, I said, you know, I said, I know who I am. I said, I know who I am now. And I went on, I was telling myself, I'm from the tribe of Judah. His wife, Elder, jumped up out of the chair, and she started screaming, crying, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she grabbed me, and she was holding me, and she kept saying she was so sorry. And the whole floor came back, and they were running in the room like, what's going on back here? And I was like, she's just excited. I said, she's just excited. I said, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. The next day, that man passed on.
You know
that
what?
Man passed
let me tell you.
on.
You know what he did? He cleared his conscience. He cleared his conscience before passing.
Wow.
And let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you, it's not all Jewish people aren't bad people. And that narrative is a false, it's a wrong narrative. And there used to be a closer connection in the community before the other immigrants used to come in, not to absolve those who meant us harm from what they've done. But there was a time when I was growing up, you know, the insurance man, the butcher around the corner, all these were neighborhood people who genuinely cared for the neighborhood. And see, so I don't want that narrative to be out there that all of anyone are evil. That's the wrong narrative.
Correct.
You understand? He cleared his conscience. And let me tell you, I know a guy when I was singing and all that, and you know what I mean? He genuinely cared for my family. You understand? Let me tell you, here's a story. I told my little brother, we had a group called the Diamond Five. I was signed to a group with Alpha International growing up as a kid, and they was going to have us as a group to try to rival or be a part of or get into that new edition lane, right? My brother was one of the most talented people you would know, okay? Tony. But for some reason, he wanted to hang out with Jesse Bond. Jesse Bond was a guy around the corner. He would do drugs, sipping syrup and all types of stuff. And I'm like, yo, you're talented. Why don't you just do the music and do what I'm doing? Because I would write the songs and he would sing. I thought he was a greater singer than I was at the time. I would write. He ended up getting in the car, right? And I'm going to make this story short, sister. And Jesse Bond at Broad and Susquehanna ended up shooting a Chinese guy, robbing a Chinese guy on the corner of Broad and Susquehanna. You can look at this story. You can find this story in the news, right? And it so happens that my brother, simple as a day old, 14 years old, I think he was at the time, 14 or 15, in the back of the car when it happened.
Oh my God.
My father lost time in his life. First of all, my mother, they came and got my brother, took him down to 17th and Berks, where the police station is in North Philadelphia. And they got my mother to go into the room and tell him, the truth will set you free. He didn't have to say anything. He could have said, listen, I wasn't in that car. And she goes and tell him, the truth shall set you free. And you know what happens? The truth got him moved upstate. Right? All good. Then now this guy is going to spoil you all of, we trying to get our family out of the hood. This is before I knew the truth. This was our meal ticket. This was our ticket to help our family. And the lawyer that was representing me at the time, still a friend till this day, he looked at me and say, we're going to do everything we can for Tony. I had a little money because I was working, doing music, writing and all that. And they told me what it was going to cost. It was all the money I had. And we gave it to a lawyer. We prayed together. And this is the Jewish lawyer. He said, I'm going to do everything for your son. They wanted to try my brother as an adult. That's when they was trying kids as adults in our neighborhood. Every one of the persons in that car behind that crime, sister, either they got lethal injection or they in jail or died in jail. My brother ended up getting out, 5-year probation, and was able to serve that 5-year probation unscathed and has a free record till this day. He didn't go to jail. Everyone that was in that car, either they died through lethal injection or they died in prison. So I can't look at this and say all white people and all Jewish people are bad. When a guy looked me straight in my eyes with tears in his eyes, hurting with my family, saying, I'm going to do everything. I will lose sleep before I let your brother serve a day in jail. So I don't care what doctrine people put out there. You can't tell me that all people are wicked and evil when I've seen the good in people.
Agreed.
Okay?
I agree, totally.
Sister, your testimony was strong. I just want to put that out there, that I've exhibited too. We have to get out of this thing, and other people have to get out of these things, that just because someone was born in a race that they couldn't control, that makes them inherently evil.
That's the truth.
People have to get people out of that mindset. Time and chance happens to all men, and every person has an opportunity to do right. And every person in this earth has an opportunity to come to Christ. Thank you, sister.
Mary, he said there's a Hebrew community in my area in Mabasa. And I said, huh? He said, yeah. He said, you guys are everywhere. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I said, oh, yeah. I said, GOCC will be in Mabasa soon. He just don't know.
Will be where?
He said there's a Hebrew Israelite community in Mabasa.
Okay.
In Kenya.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there.
I told him. I said, oh, yeah, GOCC will be there soon.
Yeah, we will. We will. Thank you, sister. Great testimony.
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
bless
sir.
you. All right.
You have a great evening.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Shalom.
Shalom. Aaron is here. Aaron. I mean Aharon. I'm messing around.
Shalom, Elder. How you doing?
Shalom, Aaron.
How you doing, elders, man?
We doing well.
It's good to. That's good, man. It's good to talk to y'all again.
You good, Lawya?
All praises to the Most High.
All right, go ahead. It's your time. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I seen you looking down, so I'll just go to me real quick. Yes, sir. The floor is yours, Aaron.
Yes.
I mean, Aharon. Let's go.
To answer the question, man, and I've talked about it with other brothers and sisters that's in the truth also. And it goes back to you can't separate church and state if you tell us the truth. Growing up, going through school, they always taught us about these different empires that ruled, and they mentioned slaves that they ruled over. But they never would go into real detail about the slaves that they ruled over, especially Egypt and the Pharaoh. And we learned about the gods and, the rulers of Egypt. But they never went into detail about, who the slaves were. So if they was to tell us the truth, then there would be no separation between church and state, because now you have to tell the whole truth and you have to describe these slaves. And then the other reason is the stock market. The whole world, the stock market basically was built off of it. Not basically, it was built off of free labor.
Man, great point.
And the whole world, benefited from it. So I know we've talked about reparations and all that, which, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see that day. But if they was to tell us the truth, that would be on the table. Well, if we are the people, then just like how other nations of people were, given stipends and, a lot of money. I mean, you would have the nation of Israel is a large nation.
Yeah, we would break the bank. We would break the bank. I mean, it would topple the world's economy. Think about this.
Exactly.
If you tell us we're Israelites, all of us are leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Baptist Church, the Catholic Church, the Islam. We all together. Religion is totally toppled overnight. All religion.
Exactly.
Because the only people that are in these places are the lost sheep who's trying to find their God. Us. Right? And then the economy, I mean, you can forget about it. The streets will be overran with pigs. Can you imagine if no one ate pork anymore amongst our people? Man, you would have people. Let me tell you, they would have pigs at the SPCA. They would become pets if that was to happen. Look, the pork belly stock would fall to the seventh level of hell, to hell. They say it's still dropping, pork belly. Yeah. So it would totally destroy the economy. And not only that, as an Israelite now, we must do what? We must deal with the highest form of nepotism according to scriptures, which means we're not going to discriminate against other races, but we're going to make sure our nation is right first. Yeah. So that means all the immigrants will have to pack up and go back to where they are, and all those stores in the neighborhood will become ours, because that's against our law to put other nations to financially aggrandize over us. And all of their stores would have to close on a Sabbath. All of their stores in our neighborhoods would have to close on a Sabbath. On the Sabbath. So listen. It would totally topple the whole world. It's impossible for them to actually hold this economy together with the truth by telling the truth. But go on.
You talk, and also not only stores closing on the Sabbath, but now you got to look at all the holidays that you've given us.
Yeah.
And a lot of the money that's spent come from our people.
Yeah.
During the holidays. So it would ruin everything. And Elder, real quick, man, just to like the last caller, the sister was saying she have a relative out in Kenya.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I work with a brother. We're on different shifts now, but when he first started, he's from the Congo.
Okay.
In Africa.
Yeah. And
one day, we was in the gowning room, and I asked him. I said, AK for short. I asked him. I said, in y'all schools over there in the Congo, I was like, do they teach y'all the history about the Hebrews, Israelites?
Yeah.
And he gave me this look, and he kind of smirked, and he looked at me, and he shook his head, yeah. And I said, what do they tell y'all? Do they tell y'all that the ones that was brought over here are relatives? And he said, oh, yeah. He said, we learn about all that over there. He said, but they don't teach that over here. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, let me tell you, the only people who doesn't know we're Hebrews are us. Are us, my brother. Are us. And it's deep that it was the rebellious blacks in Africa that was rebelling against Rome, who they severed from amongst the Africans to come over and serve slavery. So they had to keep they had to keep a serious foot on us, or a watch on us, knowing that through epigenetics we have the spirit inherently to rebel. So they weren't just they weren't just bringing anybody over from Africa. The agreement was, if there was an African in Ghana or on the Ivory Coast who was defying the progressive politics of Rome, you must give them over to the slave trade. So it was the rebels they were shipping over here. So through epigenetics, they know that we have the spirit to one day rebel. Because that was in the forefathers who were on the slave ships. That was in our forefathers and our mothers. But brother, I have to get to the next call. Elder, I'll let you give the last. I'll let you give the last word, then I'll go to the next call. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, just to say, I didn't know that Rome had already started infiltrating the slave coast. I didn't even know that until tonight. I thought they just found out where we were and just came and started taking. So Rome had already started infiltrating. Yeah. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Rome, so not more so infiltrating. We're talking politics here. In agreements for trade and all that with Ghana, there was agreements. Okay? So the resistance that was stopping progression of Ghana, there was resistance amongst their people who they felt was stopping the progression of Ghana, who couldn't get what? Subsidies and help, military, finances, and trade through Rome. So the agreement is, listen, in order for us to help you out, Ghana, if there's people trying to rebel against progress, you're going to have to hand them over to us. That's the real narrative for slavery. That slavery was predominantly for the rebels of those countries as a punishment, so that so that the Ghanaians and others who were living there would stay in order, would go with the progression that Rome was doing amongst Africa. And guess what? Rome didn't just send Christians. Rome sent Muslims. See, and that's that's where people are getting it twisted. They think that Islam is a separate work. When no, Rome.
It was created by the Catholic Church.
Exactly. Rome sent both Christians and Muslims. So when you run from this religion saying it's a white man religion, they'll get you over here with Islam, because they sent both. And one thing about Rome, they're not going to leave nothing to chance. If you run from them this way,
Yep.
you'll run into another trap they sent the other way. That's right. Islam and
And
Muslim is nothing but the religious example of what we know as Democrat and Republic. Two sides of the same coin. But brother, I digress. Let's get to the next call.
Man.
Great call.
Shalom, man.
Shalom. Black. Don't forget Lawyer. When Reverend Al Sharp Perm, when we come with black, brown, and blue and the rainbow coalition and the rainbow and the black and the brown. See, when he come with that, right? And then he come with the black and the brown and the LBGTQ. It's not just what we're going through. The black and the brown. See? You got to make sure you see. I'm getting my impressions down, man. This guy, they roll him out after every anything. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find my man real quick, since we digressing into digression, you know. Let me see if I can find him up in here. Right? Yeah. And he's one of the greatest deceivers in the history of deception. You talking? Oh, where you at? Let me get him. I'm gonna show you what this guy be doing behind closed doors. Where you at? 1 second. I'm gonna find him. Hold on, Elder Lawyer. See, Elder Lawyer's about to go to sleep, but I'm gonna wake him up with this one. I'm gonna wake him up with this one.
Drinking water before bed burns
No, we don't want that.
46 pounds in 2 weeks.
All right, we're gonna get it happening. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give y'all a little history lesson tonight. A little history lesson on your bull. The guy they roll out, right? Let me get it for you. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Sharp perm. Let's get it in. Here's your boy. I'm gonna wake you up, Lawyer. I'm gonna show you where it's at. Lawyer, wake up.
I'm with you.
Wake up, Lawyer. We're gonna get it in. Wake up. That's what we're going to be doing on the morning show for you, Lawyer. I told you I'm going to wake you up, young man. Get on up. The enemy tried to attack, try to slow us up. I'm going to wake you up, young man. Let's get it. That's your boy. All right? Let's go to the next call. I'm going to wake you up, young man, every time I see you dozing off. Okay. 910 area code. The enemy tried to attack, try to slow us up. I'm going to wake you up, young man. Let's get it. That's your boy. All right? Let's go to the next call. I'm going to wake you up, young man, every time I see you dozing off. Oh, I know somebody laughing right there. Let's get to the next call. Charles has a comment.
Hey, Shalom, Elder Rawchaa.
Wake on up now.
This is Charles. How is that air purifier? I hope you enjoyed it. Me and Rosalind sent it to you last week. But I have a comment. Me and the wife was discussing about our grandson being uncircumcised. Does that keep him from the kingdom?
No, it doesn't.
His mom. Say it again.
No, it doesn't.
We were just wondering. We was dialoguing because I think she saw it in the Bible somewhere where it said it was a law forever.
It is a law forever. It is a law forever. Okay? But that forever goes into another word that means the vanishing point. All right? Elder Lawyer, I need you to get that on circumcision of the heart in the New Testament. Now,
yes, sir.
Now, usually when things happen like this, brother, like I usually have a personal story, right? These are all true. All right. Before my mother was able to have children, right? She would bring them up to term, and it was two children, two babies my mother's lost before she was able to really have children, right? She lost two babies, not miscarriage, right? In trying to deliver the baby. All right. Okay. So, and I know she felt that there could be some foul play or whatever going on because, you know, she was distraught with this, right? Mm-hmm. So, when my brother was born, my big brother, Poochie, she didn't want no one to touch him after what happened with her first two babies. She wouldn't let the nurses or nothing touch him. So he had his hand on his chest, right? And the chest pushed in because she didn't want nobody to touch him. So till this day, my brother has his chest like that, right? Where his chest right? Because she said, listen, as long as I bring a live baby out of here, that's all that matters. Do not touch my baby. That's how it was in Louisiana. Now, okay. My sister, she didn't let nobody touch my sister. 11 months later, I came. And my father wanted to do a circumcision, and my mother was like, no one's touching my babies. Not until I get them out of these hospitals. Right? Okay. Now, it so happens that my brother Poochie, he was circumcised because he was the older brother who was through a different relationship or whatever the case is, right? Now listen, so she didn't want nobody to touch me, so I wasn't circumcised. It wasn't till I grew older and learned the truth, right? That I realized that, you know, something was, you know, that the importance of circumcision, but it was for me.
Oh, okay.
Right? So when I learned of Abraham, I didn't think about it as anything other than if my father Abraham went through it at the ripe old age of almost 100.
Wow.
Then I should go through it. So that was a personal choice. Now I would have still accepted Christ and eventually did what I did even without the physical circumcision, but that was a personal choice. And see, and that's what Paul was talking about. Stop trying to push customs on people strictly for tradition, because there's a circumcision of the heart. And when someone is convicted and understanding the history of circumcision, when that person come to the truth to understand it, it's not going to be because they're pressured under the law. They're going to do it like faithful Abraham because now they have studied and understand Abraham. So you may be circumcised in the flesh, but you don't have no history of Abraham. So you understand? So it's not just a circumcision of the flesh. Okay? Now, my sons, I made sure. Yes. And understand it. Lawya, he did it. His son, yeah. Mm-hmm. But when people don't do it, it shouldn't be held against them because they don't know the law. And there is a circumcision of the heart. They don't have to be physically circumcised to be accepted under Christ. That's an individual decision. Okay? Elder Lawya, I need you to read the scripture on that.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse number, I'll start at verse number 25. Yeah. For circumcision verily profiteth, if thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
So it's like this, brother. If a person is fully circumcised and they're breaking the law and going against the law of Moses, what good is that physical circumcision when they're not right?
Exactly.
So go ahead, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Moving on to verse number 26. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, now, shall not his...
Go ahead. Read that again, Elder Lawya.
Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision?
There you go. If someone who didn't get circumcised is now following the law properly and is in Christ, Shouldn't his uncircumcision be counted as circumcision? Absolutely yes.
Exactly.
Now, here's the backward thinking of some people who operate in the spirit of Pharisee. Let me tell you, they will go to the wall on, you gotta be circumcised, circumcised, circumcised. And these same people will deny the baptism of Christ. That gives the circumcision of the heart. So again, it's not a prerequisite. It's not something that is a scenario where it's a prerequisite to do so to make it into to have favor with God. Okay.
Okay.
But it is a law. Okay, it is a law. But we're covered under grace. But it is a law. So what I would suggest with any father, if you can get your son circumcised, do it. And the reason why, is for the cleanly benefits of it. There's a lot of uncleanliness that happens with uncircumcision in the way you have to clean and the hygienic thing and all that.
Right.
So just for the sake of a healthy young man, it's best to have your son circumcised. Okay?
God. And again, Rosalind and I thank you. We really appreciate it. We can talk to our son and grandchildren. And again, we hope you enjoy that air purifier because we sure do.
Yes, and I really
Shalom.
appreciate that air purifier, Charles. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom. Bless you. Okay, Reggie. Richard, then Reggie. I'm sorry. And Elder Lawya, I know we're about to go to sleep soon. I think we did our midnight show. And I think we went well overboard, and I think it's time to digress. All right, Richard.
Yes, sir.
Richard, you're live.
Hello, Elder.
How you doing, Rich?
To you, Elder Lawya, I'd like to say I've been watching Elder Lawya for years. When he was with this other guy that I guess he lives in Vegas now. And we've learned so much from you guys. And there's a lot of things I would like to say, but for the sake of time. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, Rich. The floor is yours. We hear you fine.
Oh. And I thank the Most High for all the teachings that you do. I mean, I've learned so much. My father, he was a minister in Tacoma, Washington, and what are you saying? How can I say it? He passed away a while ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It just hurts my heart even when I think about it. But anyhow, the legacy he left me was the Most High.
Good.
And the Most High gave me a zeal in my heart to seek him out.
Great.
And he has directed me to people like you guys and what you're doing to show me and to teach me and my wife and my children the truth.
Fantastic.
And in that, I am grateful. Very grateful.
Thank you, brother. Praise
Even
the
though I've
Most
been
High.
through a lot of stuff, I haven't missed too many of your shows. I've even went back and looked at some other shows. But one thing I wanted to really say is that when I heard you say the name of the Most High Yah,
Ahaya, that's his name.
For the first time, my wife and I, we just stood there, and it resonated in my spirit. I had never heard that before. This was about a year ago. I think a little less than a year ago.
Praise the Most High.
And I went back and looked at your videos 10, 12 years ago, I guess, about his name and the history of it. And I don't fully understand, like, the name of Christ. It's the name of the Father and his Ahaya is Bahashem Yeshaya.
His name is Yeshaya. Hey, brother. Hey, brother, I got a book here. Let me tell you, I got some stuff. I have some stuff. I'll tell you the truth. Oh, yeah. El Yahweh, as you can see, Deus, Zeus, and Jupiter. That's right. Yahweh or Yahweh is Zeus, Yovi, and it's in their book. The Tetragrammaton belongs to Esau. Uh-huh. Yeah, we got you. And see, they took Jupiter out of the temple and put it in the Vatican and said that was Peter and had the people kiss his feet. Yeah, we got you. Wait till y'all see me going to this book. And it's from Ancient Samaria breaks down that the shoot, that's right. The side shoot of Esau was worshiping Yahweh in Mount Seir. And eventually he became the god of Mount Olympus and became the god of the white man, the Greeks and the Romans. There go your Yahweh right there. I got some more stuff. I got some more stuff for y'all. Now let me lighten up because I'm right now I'm black unto the ground. Jeremiah 14:2. All right, I got to get a few more calls, but come on, let's go. Hey, folks, we got books upon books upon books. We don't just be talking here. All these Israelites out here, they're talking. Hold up, they're talking about. We know his name is Yahweh, Yahweh, Yah, and all that. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to argue with them no more. If you can't accept what God said to Moses out of his own mouth, how can I convince you? If God said, tell them I am that I am, and you're trying to say it's something else, you won't listen to me if you don't hear him. Okay? And then you got other guys who used to say the name, but they know that the Most High gave us the understanding to bring it out. They just stopped saying it all together and say, well, no one knows. We'll wait till Christ come back. Simple as the day's old. All right, you have the last word.
Yes, I've been following all your teachings about the name of the Most High.
Yeah.
And I am in agreement with it. And since I have been saying his name, there has been some significant changes that has been happening in my life, especially him drawing nearer to me, and cleansing my spirit of the things that has hurt me and poisoned my life in the past.
Yeah.
And especially about forgiveness, which I had a very difficult time with because a lot of people were coming after me unjustly, regardless if I was being generous with them or not. It was like I was the bad guy of everything. It didn't matter what I did, how I helped people, what I did to them. They always wanted to talk some kind of crap to me. But you know what? The Most High has dealt with me in a way where if I hold that against them, that he'll hold everything that I've done against me.
Hey, brother.
And that really opened.
Hey, brother, all I have to say based on what you just said right there, don't miss the Sabbath lesson because we're going to be talking about that.
Yes. Okay.
We're going to talk about that. But
well,
I need you to wrap it up because I'm about to digress.
The only thing that I have is getting back with the your teachings on Sunday because we're 3 hours different.
Well, brother, it doesn't matter. Hey, brother, listen, we have people all over the world that's in the academy. You can get in the academy and don't have to worry about the time it airs because you get all the links to see it anyway. See it whenever you want.
Okay.
All right.
Well, once again, I'd like to thank you for the work that you're doing. Good to see Elder Lawya.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been following him before I've been following GOCC.
Hold up.
So thank you guys.
Hold up. How was you following Lawya before you was following GOCC? You sure you got the right guy?
Yes, sir, I do, because of how he stares in the camera. I got the right guy.
No.
He was with this other guy, I forget.
No, Elder Lawya has never been with some other guy.
Okay.
But I'm
When he was
hey,
younger?
but there's a lot of people out there who look like Lawya. So, but Lawya have never been with some other guy. Okay.
All right. Well, I stand corrected. I forget the guy's name. I had asked my wife what his name was again because he was teaching the Bible. And like I said, it was a while ago. So then I stand corrected. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. People get mixed. We get mixed up. People mix us up all the time. But no, Elder Lawya was never with anyone else. Okay, he came to this truth. He was a young man with a few beady plaits up in his head, walking up the street. And I said, and I said, young man, and what you about to hear today is going to change your life. All right, thank you.
All right,
bless you.
It's been a pleasure. It took a year to get through, but I'm glad I got through. And thank you again for what you guys are doing, the work you're doing in the name of Ahia.
Well, thank you. Bless you. All right, shalom. All
right, bye.
Reggie has a Reggie. Where are you? Last call, and then we're gonna have Sunshine. Sunshine, I'll be saying use half of your copious notes. Now, I'm going to have to cut you off if you try to use all of them, okay? Reggie, come on. You have a question or comment. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Elder, how you doing?
I'm blessed by the best, and his name is Ahia. Don't make me pull out another book up in here. Talk to me.
Oh, we finna go into that. Yes, sir. So, check this. Well, first of all, so let me say thank you for the academy because, man, I've been enlightened and, learning Hebrew, and I had a dream about the Hebrew language years ago. At a time, I did not know it was a Hebrew language. I still don't know what it was at the time, but I just saw something in my dream I want to get into. But I know now what it was. It was cherubims and all kind of stuff. So
hold up before you go there, because you're in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you check out the fact that no one knew that Billie Jean, Michael Jackson is an angel? When I showed Billie Jean within the video to show him stepping on the tessellated floors, which are the stones of fire in heaven, which is the Masonic floor that they mimic here in the Masonic temples. And how when he went up the steps, it was through the two pillars. That's right after the Mercy of Mercies. And he went back into the Holy of Holies where Billie Jean was. And then he got in bed with the woman, then disappeared. When the Nephilim, when the angels came down and slept with women and brought forth Nephilim. And the kid is not my son.
Yes, sir.
The whole thing, Masonic TV was talking about Lucifer going into the Holy of Holies. It was a whole Masonic construct. They was telling us the whole
that's
time.
I realize it now.
Yeah, so it showed him stepping on the sidewalk and the lights are flashing like a checkered floor. Because it tell you that the Holy of Holies have the tessellated or checkered floor in the heavens when Enoch went up before the Almighty. And the
portal, that's right.
Oh yeah. Hey brother, look at that video again. I broke it down. You have to know the book of Enoch to understand that particular video and why they constructed it. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, look at it again. All right.
So, yes, sir. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So I'm gonna be real quick.
All right.
Look. All right. So in the book of Jasher, and I believe it was Jasher 9:38. It was at the end. It was saying that the circumference of the Tower of Babel was 3 days walk.
Yes,
so
it
after
was.
I do the math, it said it's 60 miles in circumference.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So by coincidence, you tell me if I'm wrong, the CERN collider, super collider in Switzerland is 62 miles in circumference. How's that crazy?
What, 666?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's 60 miles in circumference.
Yeah.
I say, wow. The CERN super collider is 62 miles in circumference, just like the Tower of Babel was 60 miles in circumference.
Yeah. And their whole plan is to get their leader out of here before our king or our kingdom comes. But you know what? he's going to be thrust into hell. And we all who are here before the Almighty, who are chosen, will behold that judgment. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you. See you in the academy, right?
Yes, sir. And
go ahead. You had the last word.
I'm in the academy. I'm in the academy, and coincidence. Now we were talking about in the academy last week about how they're with the shootings with the kids with the Sandy Creek thing. How about there's another shooting that's happened like a few hours ago?
Well, listen. We trying to keep this channel, and I don't even. We'll talk about that in the academy. Okay.
Okay.
Right now, and it's a bang bang here and a bang bang there. Here bang, everywhere bang bang. And then there's going to be a law that says, okay, these bad little things that people are using, we need to do something about it. Yeah, the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about that on the platforms. We can actually discuss, things freely. But I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. and one last thing, Elder. When I told my parents, my mom about, hey, I'm going to the academy, I'm trying to learn Hebrew, all that. And I didn't get deep into it. I know she understands because she's old Southern Baptist.
Yeah.
So she didn't understand, and she was like, "Oh, that's Jehovah's Witness." I said, "No, that's not Jehovah's Witness," and all that. And, I'm trying to tell her about certain things about Easter and all that. And what she said is what you said in one of your videos, which I can find it. And they were saying, she said, "You know what?" I said, "Easter is a pagan holiday. You probably celebrate it anyway." "Well, I know, but it's okay because we saved by grace." And then her husband, my stepdad, brought up the book of Job and talking about, we saved by grace. So I didn't get into it. I didn't let him talk. And I wish I could.
Listen, isn't that
articulate that,
brother? Isn't that an admission? When you say you saved by grace, so what are you saying? So you're breaking God's law,
right?
So that's an admission that, yes, I am breaking God's law, but grace covers me. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I know it's sin, but I'm covered by grace. Well, if you know it's sin, you're not covered by grace. Grace comes in when you can't keep the law. That's what grace is. You get a grace period.
Yes, sir.
Listen, when you're late on your bill, they send you what? Late notices and give you a grace period and say you got to pay by this or your light's going to get cut off. Just because you got grace doesn't mean your lights is going to stay on if you don't pay the bill.
All right.
Utterly ridiculous how they're using grace backward. If you know you're sinning, you're not covered by grace. Grace comes in when you can't follow the law. Lord, have mercy. Go ahead. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate
it, Elder. I want help pull you up, and I just want to say one thing. I am in the class, and I want to ask you: is there anybody any Atlanta body here in Atlanta? I'm Atlanta area. And I was emailing you guys about the baptism and whatnot, and get in contact with the elder. So I know you guys are busy, and a lot of emails get crazy amount of emails. So I just want to know what's the best route of getting in contact with the elder in Atlanta.
Okay, I'll text your number to Baruch. Great brother there.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, brother. I'm going to place you on hold.
Thank you, Elder.
All right, shalom. All right, Sunshine, you can roll. You got 2 minutes.
Hello? Shalom? Hi.
Shalom.
Hello? Shalom. Hi.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Hi. Oh, okay. Okay. No, Elder, the illusions that the Gentiles not called by Yahweh's name spun against us in multiple and micro levels. It started, like you said, from way back, and then even from the very shores of Africa, we were taught to look this other way and to not, nurse that rebellious spirit against the Romans, or forget that we even had it or even a purpose suppression was reinforced generation after generation to keep us in a perpetual curse and nullify the end. And thereafter, in a haze of lostness, as the lost sheep of the house of Israel, we were maneuvered here and there to be tossed in various levels of deceit and multiple webs of mental, physical, and spiritual exhaustion, so that wearing out the saints was, of the Most High would keep us in that wearied and sleeping position. And the tireless work of the conspirators have usurped their entire lives, however. And so they're unhappy in their obsession, and that picks at, they continue to pick at us, but at the same time that they're us down, that same obsession imprisons them and reduces those against us to the very thing they hate, which is to be ruled by us or dwell under us, who are the salt of the rightful rulers of the earth. So their obsession and laser focus on our people is something that they're unwilling to shake, and they have gone to such heights to setting their nest amongst the stars and depths, to sacrificing our children and destroying even the creatures of earth and sea, that all of those are shackled in this headlong wickedness against us, and they won't give back anything they've stolen, and none are for us, like Christ said. So we may be oppressed by the heads and their helpers and conspirators of Psalms 83, but they who have worked so foolishly and desperately against us for generations still are driven by the focus on the salt of the earth in vanity, and they're still in bonds, wearing and adorning their houses with the jewels of Solomon's temple, which are our possessions. Through our fall, they got rich, and they are knowing the judgment of God. They still do evil anyway, and they're the truest example of the walking dead with Satan at the helm. For they live half dead in misery, watching their plans melt and fall and burn away, and watching their temporary lives and nakedness exposed, and at the same time watching our rise and our permanent promise, so that they can never touch, the remnant that is chosen and the flock of Christ, pastor, who are men and ruling over women and children in righteousness forever and ever. So that is freedom. Oh,
there you go. There go freedom.
Thank the Most High.
And just like, thank you. Oh, there goes sunshine. I think she made it within the, there it is. She made it within that little area we needed to talk about. And we're going to end it with this, Elder Lawya, right? Elder Lawya, I'm going to let you end it.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let you end it with this, Elder Lawya. Let's talk about it. Why didn't they tell us the truth, right? And we do bring the truth here at the Gathering of Christ Church, the unadulterated truth. And here's a question for those, even for those who defy or may deny what we bring forth. Elder Lawya, I need you to end it. I have nothing else to say, with Galatians 4:16.
Galatians 4, verse number 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Once more, Elder Lawya.
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
And here's the truth. The Most High is calling back Israel. Shalom. May the Most High stay with you. Stay prayed up. Sin not. Brothers and sisters from all around the world, this is the Gathering of Christ Church. The Israelites are back. And you know what? Ahaya's calling back Israel. Shalom and good night.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With the great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went.
The 12 tribes of Israel, that's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Oh, Simeon, the Dominicans, our highest gathering Israel.